Hey, welcome back to Metropole Grid. My name is Andre. Hopefully you're doing well. It's the 23rd of March. I'll be honest, I'm pretty under the weather today. I have been all week. So we're gonna have that real high energy we all want in our life. Look, my goal tonight is just not to make my voice any worse than it is. So good luck, everyone. Hey River, oh, it's my fave time of the week, but you did a swear in there. And you're not meant to do a swear in there. It's the first 7 minutes of the stream or whatever. You gotta get demonetized. How's it going? I'm glad you're happy to be here. Hey Izzy, how's it going? Kalana, how you doing as well? It's been a pretty busy week, I reckon, for Netrunner. There's a bunch of news and stuff to talk about. We got some mail in today. Also, we have some tournament stuff this weekend. But yeah, as I said off the top, I went out and I did stuff on, I don't know why it is, maybe. I went to Flesh and Blood pre-release on Friday, came home, felt pretty good, did some other stuff, still feeling pretty good until about Tuesday. Well, I started feeling not so good anymore. And now we're here. So it's been, I hope you feel a bit better as the stream goes on. Thank you, Thanos. I think it's going to be the opposite. I think there's a small chance that this is going to be the most I talk all week within like 3 hours. And it's going to be bad for me. If that's the case, we'll just panic and we'll just shut it off halfway and we'll be fine. Melias, hey, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. We got a stream today. We're going to do some deck building. I think there's a certain card we want to try out. We also have a really cool deck list of the week. This is Pre-Nick posted a version that came in 3-1 at Italian KOS. Italy just went for the gendered KOS term. Everyone went out of the way to ungender the KOS name for like Crown of Lasers or other stuff, and they went back and they kinged it. I don't know what's going on there. So much progress to unking it, and they just rekinged it. He's getting crabby. He's unwell. He's getting crabby. This is a really cool list. I think we originally played a version of this. It was Baremu's version, right? Baremu, if you don't know, mind you, does some streaming. I believe it's like Wednesdays. I'm not sure the time, but find out on YouTube. If you search Baremu, it'll come up. The link will be in the description, but he's been streaming on Wednesdays, if I'm not mistaken. But Baremu published this deck list, which in short, this never works, was a Banhart list. And the idea is that Banhart is kind of really cool in Apex. We actually put up a real quick deck dive before this. It was right before the holidays. We just had to try it out. And the idea is that Banhart is, I think, one of the most underexplored cards from the new set. I think this card is like way better than it looks. But the idea is that you can make a run and you don't have to have breakers because you're going through that ice for net damage. And if you're playing Apex, inherently you have some issues. Kind of like the core fundamental of the game, breaking ice. You kind of have problems with that one. And luckily Banhart just kind of smooths that out. And on top of that, we have Heartbeat. Now, Heartbeat says you can trash your face down cards or your installed cards. Mind you, they don't have to be face down, but they usually are. So the idea is that Banhart now, the gas that we pay, the Faustian gas, how's it going, Cold Lava, is actually just our installed cards. We actually can install a lot of cards really quickly. In fact, Reboot is the most click compression to get cards on the table in a single click. That's 5 installs for a single click. Obviously, they're face down cards, but that's really quite good. And that's kind of the engine here. And if you're wondering, wait, how do you play Apex? Can't play Banhart? What are you doing? Well, that's the idea, is that we flip this down with a simulator. And Pre-Nick's version actually goes a bit further from this. In some ways further, in some ways closer. I think it's really interesting. We're on 2 Banharts, which feels like a sin. But we actually have real breakers in the suite. In fact, we can flip up an Orcus, and so we install it for 0 credits, which is kind of the coolest ways we're going to do. Happy Thursday, yes to Apex. Janktivus, how's it going? Yo, did you see some Arkham news today? Man, it's upsetting. Any news is upsetting news, apparently. It's weird. Hey, Fixborns, hope you get better soon. I think you switched to Mondays. Oh, thank you. Okay, so it seems to be Mondays now. Very, very good. I haven't had the chance to drop in live, but I've been watching some of the VODs. Hey, Xran, I was promised maths. I craved the numbers. Hopefully there wasn't a major snag. There was actually like a kind of major snag. So what I was doing with the numbers, okay, we're gonna have a little numbers tangent here. I wanted to put out a video for a while now because I basically wrote this program that allows you to do the defensibility math of certain agenda suites, and the math turns out to be really interesting. And so I made the program better, has more functionality, and then I thought, like, there's gonna be a lot of people who hold on, just enough to float the Arkham news so I don't say the bad Arkham news and then we go on. The annoying Arkham news is that they did a live stream yesterday. I didn't watch it. I just got the second hand, and they showed a card from what they said the next. I don't think they said the next product, but they said the new product. If you don't want to see an Arkham spoiler, I'm going to pop it up on the screen now for a second. If you do want to see an Arkham spoiler, you're in the right spot. But if you don't, pop out for a second. But they just spoiled this card from the upcoming product, right? And it's an interesting card. It has Bob on it, which is really fun. But it says 2024 in the bottom. Copyright 2024. That's not good. Maybe that's just placeholder, right? And they don't know when they're gonna release it. But if the next Arkham product, like big boxes in 2024, they're living in the future. Well, yeah, but maybe they're like expecting to release in the future, right? Like maybe they're doing a product a year, as opposed to like, you know, Arkham folks who've been playing for like a long time, maybe saw that, you know, we used to have 2 deluxes a year. I'm sorry, that sucks. Hey, Sengren, how's it going? Yo, real talk, Jeff. After the stream last night, I downloaded the last spell, and I think I'm like 6 hours in. I have opinions. Oh, dang, Andre's just on time for bedtime. Yo, Nikki, how's it going? I kind of wish. I'm really not feeling great. I've been sick for the last couple days, so yeah. I guess traditionally full cycles were 2 times a year. Yeah, exactly. We used to get 2 cycles a year. It was basically like 1.25 years, because there used to be a big box, and then every month for 6 months they would get a data pack, right? Like the next chapter of it, campaign. Yeah, so that's not great. Yeah, I don't know. Again, that might be an expansion further on. It might not be the next thing, but they said specifically in the live stream from the upcoming product, not an upcoming product, which like, come on. FFG hasn't been like putting out much of anything for the last little while. It feels like there's some issues internally. Yeah, it's a bit brutal. Okay, going back to my number snag. Basically, I realized that there's going to be a lot of people who might not download and install Python and Matplotlib and like do a bunch of the tinkering. So I wanted to publish the numbers. So I basically automated the thing to run every single agenda suite, like reasonable agenda suite in standard or startup, and basically like do simulations. Like I'm going to run 500,000 on this, 500,000 on this, and I'm going to tweak the numbers so I can actually show you a spreadsheet with all the data. That took a long time. My first time running through it, I got a very simple thing wrong and I had to redo the data, but now I have all the data. It's on spreadsheets, and then I just have to record the video. Unfortunately, I'm in real no state to record a video. So hopefully tomorrow, that's not going to happen. Recording, I mean. So like maybe next week in the middle of the week. Do they have any return to or reboxings to do? Yeah, they just announced they're doing their like, so they stopped doing return tos. So return tos, like no surprise, was probably one of their worst selling products, because it's a product that only has value for people who are really hardcore. And right now, what FFG is doing across most of their product lines is basically doing repackaging and re-releasings of just about everything, because they realize a lot of their products have like really good shelf lives, but they're hard to get into them. If you've been getting into Arkham recently, you might know, I can probably just pull this up, right? So Arkham Horror was kind of distributed the same way local, what's it called? Living games, card games were for Netrunner, like Netrunner for a long time, where you had to you have to get like the deluxe set and then every single pack after that to have a cohesive narrative. And that's really difficult to do. And so someone recently, what they ended up doing, it's a much better model that they started using for their new campaigns, where now the campaign comes in 2 boxes. They usually come about a month apart. One of them is just player cards, and then the other one is just the actual story, the actual campaign. And I think this model is fantastic. Overall, it is a bit cheaper. I reckon it's a lot easier for stores. It's more manageable on the amount of SKUs they have to have on shelves. But the biggest thing here too, which like we can tell from our play group, I buy both of these boxes, but we have a bunch of players who like only play with other folks, so they just buy the player cards, like the investigator cards, so they don't have to buy the other big box. But what they've been doing is they've been going back and basically taking their old cycles and repackaging them like this. So they've been doing them in reverse order, if I'm not mistaken. So Circle and Den was announced relatively recently. And this is kind of what they're doing for every game, like the repackaging Lord of the Rings living card game. They're repackaging, it's kind of leaked, they're going to repackage the early stuff of Marvel Champions. If you didn't know, like the first Avengers type pools are going to come back all together in one box. But that's kind of more what they're doing. And so like the return to stuff isn't being, I don't know if it's even actively being reprinted, but the return to stuff you'd reckon might have been possible to like package in this together on like the complete edition, you know, Game of the Year edition, but they're not doing that. And I think that's a bummer. Obviously it's a bummer, but Return to is such a weird product because it serves two kind of goals. Return to is like this weird box that is like 95% empty. And then it comes with a couple cards and then some player cards and some campaign stuff. And the Return to boxes are kind of like DLC. They're also kind of like patch notes. The idea is that they basically said like years after this thing has come up, these are certain things we'd want to change to make this more interesting, more difficult, less difficult, more balanced. And so basically the return to versions of the campaign just have small changes. Like every deck has these new cards in it. The encounter sets change slightly. The rules might change slightly. And I think it's really great. I think overall, most of the return to campaigns are like a far step above the regular campaigns because they're generally just more interesting, especially some of the earlier campaigns had balance issues and they generally fixed a lot of those. But the biggest problem with a lot of people is people use these boxes for storage. You can't really tell, but the front of this has this sort of like a library kind of card kind of thing. And it's a perfect storage solution. It has tall enough for dividers. It comes with dividers. So people put their cards in there. And that's largely what I've done. Unfortunately, though, there's now 2 cycles out that won't have a return to box. And they've currently said they're not working on further return to boxes because it's not like a priority to them. It's more important for them to like, you know, repackage and send the stuff they've already done. I reckon it's cheaper and has a better return on investment than this product, which is inherently a pretty niche product. It's like, oh, it's for someone who already has the campaign and still wants more, which like kind of just the hardcore of the hardcore. I have no idea what the numbers are on like Arkham sales. I've heard they're pretty good, but to understand like how well this sells compared to just like a core set or a revised core set, it's probably very interesting. Hey, Kat. How's everyone? Also nice. Arkham fun. Yeah, it's really good. It's really kind of cool. It just unfortunately it seems like there's not gonna be new Arkham for a long time now. Hey, Fix, they're reboxing Marvel Champions already? I wouldn't say already because they're reboxing like the Avengers stuff, which is like that stuff came out like 4 years ago, right? Like when did Hulk come out? Hulk Marvel Champions release date. Yeah, I killed it just like the Lord of the Rings Nightmare packs. Yeah, Crispy, exactly. But the Lord of the Rings Nightmare packs were killed a long time before. But those are also like kind of a niche product that collectors want. But they serve this like weird, like, you know, it's a second tier of sales. It's like, do you already have everything? Do you want to make Lord of the Rings even harder for some reason? 2019. So it's like 4 years old. So yeah, hold on. Yeah. Some of this stuff is like, okay. Yeah, maybe that's soon, but it's also hard to find this stuff. So yeah, it's leaked from I think some Spanish Fantasy Flight Games website, and they're just putting everything together in one box. Why is there such an Arkham delay? Hard to tell. It's really hard to tell what's going on in Fantasy Flight Games, but they don't really have a lot of news. I think for Marvel 2, which is a game I play, this is the first time in like their history that there hasn't been an announcement about what the next set is going to be. Like there's currently nothing. Right? Like generally, even for Arkham, and unfortunately it's been like this for a while now, before the final product is out, they always want to tell you what the next thing down the line is, which like capitalism forever, I guess, but it makes people more excited about the future, right? Like, oh, this is not dead. There's more to talk about, you know, content creation, all that sort of stuff. But Arkham, for Marvel, there was just a teaser, like a really, really cryptic teaser, I think like 2 days ago, but otherwise it's been radio silence for a long time. Yeah. I also picked up Carcosa in the new packaging and the Circle and done the old packaging, and apparently I'm the only one who likes TCU. Yeah, TCU is probably not my favorite. I think the narrative in TCU, like the flexibility of the narrative, is really, really cool. I think TCU is one of the campaigns that I'm more selective of what investigator I would play into it, because I think inherently like the core mechanic of like Haunted in TCU is just like punishing. It's just like a really, really punishing. So if you're not like heaven forbid play what's her name? What's the name of that fantastic investigator that fails on purpose? Like it's really difficult. It's really difficult to do it. Maybe I'll just be doing new one-offs in the meantime. That's what Folly is. Yeah, maybe there might be standalones. Those generally come around Gen Con, but then don't get released until like the year later. So even if there is another standalone, it'll be like next year, right? Yeah, Stella. Yeah, Stella is so... I played Stella in Circle and Done, and it's an absolute brutal when you're trying to fail investigations consistently. Stella's really good, though. I don't play enough Stella. Oof. Thanks for joining, by the way. Yeah, I'm a bit on the weather. I'm going to keep repeating that, but my voice is a bit weird and my energy is a bit weird. So yeah, buckle up. Cool. Anyways, that's this deck. Well, we haven't really talked about it much, but it actually has breakers and we're on 2 Banhart, which I find really strange. I feel like this is the best thing and we're on 3 Heartbeat. Maybe we just need the MU if we ever consider installing an Endless Hunger. But I feel like this is, as Baram's versions seem to be the all-in play, this is like the halfway point, right? Like we still have the multi-axis we can play. We have an Aesop's, which I think the other version actually ended up cutting. I forget what the consensus was. I think it was don't play Cyber Troopers to play the Aesop's maybe. I remember there's a change we made. Hold on, actually we should have our version here. I think we're playing Deuces instead. Yeah, we're playing Deuces just from our card job, but we did have a single Aesop's. But this is interesting because it actually has breakers. Hey, Brave. Overall, I thought the narrative was decent in TCU, but it just felt like a couple of the scenarios were just thrown in, you know? I don't know. I feel like the prologue is like difficult for replayability, and I think we're lucky that Return to kind of, you know, got you out of that if you wanted to. I think there's one scenario in the middle that's one of the hardest scenarios in all of Arkham Horror, like by a mile. People know which one that is. I feel like I like a lot of them though. But it is one of the scenarios where like going back and thinking what the individual scenarios were are pretty hard, right? Like they kind of don't stick in my mind that well, but I do think they're quite memorable. I don't know. I replayed Circle and Done relatively recently, but we played like 4 Mystics or 3 Mystics, so we had a better time than other times. It's a scenario or a campaign that has a lot of willpower tests, so you have to be prepared for it. Hey, Mark Andre, how's it going? Bin breakers are nice with Aesops, and you can sell them in a pinch. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Black Register is like not great. It's okay. Paperclip is okay too, and you can sell these over and over again. I think that's why Boss also had Cyber Trooper Tell loot, so that you could like sell these and then bring them back in again, as much as sell would be like trash them to Heartbeat. So here we're doing half of it. I don't think you need to loot. But yeah, no, it's cool. Hold on, there's some comments there. I did some modifications based on comments and testing and brought me to the list similar to this, where I had -1 Orca. We can't do that. An overclock and an MK Ultra. Excuse me. Yeah, that's probably fair. I want to keep the Orca in because I think it's fun to play Orca, and we do have technically a charge target. But again, you don't pay 10 for this. You get it installed and you get it flipped. That's all you have to do. Cool. You never side with the Silver Twilight Lodge? I think siding with the Silver Twilight Lodge is probably like the fun thing to do, but I don't think we can spoil it more than that. Yeah, that whole thing has a narrative of like, you know, the witches versus the patriarchy, which is really hard to pick one side of that conversation and feel okay about it. But I do think the narrative on both sides is actually really good. Cool. This is the Corp Runner deck. Oh, this is not going to be a good night. Let's go. Which one is, they all are called something similar. Food Goats, Lamau. Yo, it was actually a pretty good deck. I low-key am excited to play more Sherlock 2.0. It's resilient to Hippo. It's only 1 credit more than on sell. Its subroutines are largely irrelevant. But boy, does it feel good. For 3 more credits, would you get a tier? Yeah, you would. But that's a lot of money for P size. You kidding me? 10? We could afford 7. Runner. Apex is great. Diogene, man, I don't know how to. Apex is fun. Let's say that. Great. Fun. How's it going, by the way? Apex is great. Ixaron, okay. Ixaron from you. All right, we're playing against Asmari 44. This could be anything. This could be tempo-based rush and NAPD cordon. Great stuff. It could be a combo kill, which we're totally fine with. They're going to have big ice. They're going to name a type of card, probably just sit on event. Asmari, I wish it said choose a different type every turn. I think that would make it interesting. But alas. We have Sure Gamble in our hand, and Gachapon is kind of good. Heartbeat early doesn't really matter, and Benhar is useless until we find our thing, but we're going to keep this. Is Assimilator virtual? It must be, right? Yeah, by definition, it has to be. I think Gachapon's are really good in this deck. Who is a Smurf? The Smurf has been around for a while. I recognize this Smurf. We've played against this Smurf. Tier's only 7 once the subs fire. Oh, I totally forgot. Tier is actually the same cost as Sherlock, and yet somehow I'm still a Sherlock stan? That's disgusting. In a matter where most corp try to kill, it's great. Oh, Heartbeat is great. I don't think you want to play the rest of this. You just play this. It's 3 influence. You can just play that. Just play Stone Chip Chart Room. I feel like there's other ways. They named event. They're gonna get their money. There's no way around it. Okay. So cool. We can install the Reaver. We have to hit the take clicks button. Okay. Order lull, but that's fine. Never punished. So here I'm gonna run R&D, and then we're gonna trash the Gachapon to draw with Reaver, and it's gonna feel good. Hopefully we get a DreamNet here. Are we not on 3 DreamNet? We're on 2 DreamNet. Well, that's the wrong version. We're on 2 DreamNet. Okay. Amaku is obviously really good. Missed Apex Trigger. We got there. Amaku is really good. Now, unfortunately, they're going to be on 7x IP block. But this is the only good one. Shuffle 3 more cards back. Okay. Harbinger is honestly not that good. Oh, we have to redo this. Hold on. I did this wrong. Start over. So what do we want back? We don't want Harbinger. We don't want Heartbeat. So like, we're going to put our breakers back in Dirty Laundry. Yeah. All right, well, we lost on turn 1. That's cool. Game's over. We've made a terrible mistake. Hey, Neon Static, is the decklist of the week? It is. I'm aware that Neon Static is a new Netrunner podcast, and I haven't had a moment to listen to it yet. Oh, this looks like it's more rushy. How is it? Asking you specifically, how is the podcast? Because I heard there's a new Netrunner podcast, which is like a really exciting thing. We didn't die, so like that's kind of cool, I guess. Are they going to be able to rush out behind a single ice into Apex? Yeah, of course they are. Why wouldn't they be able to? Lost in turn 1, there was a big chance we did. They have an economic warfare in hand, which means they're a hard-hitting news deck. If that is a, what's it called? A crypto crash, it's over. Why do people smurf on JNet? There's so many reasons why you'd want to smurf on JNet. Sherlock put the program at the top instead of the bottom, would have a 6 energy with Kali go to Real TV. That card rotated though, Shishu. Okay, we're just gonna check it. They named event. Whatever. No HHN respect? Yeah, you see? This is the one. We have no wasteland. No, sorry. Do we even have hunting grounds? We have 3 hunting grounds. Okay, so we're actually teched for this. So this is like the punish. I guess there's a lot of ice that would have been the punish, but this is so expensive for us. I get self-conscious playing my main sometimes. Yo, me too. Me too. But like, you want to test decks? You don't want them to know that you're bringing the same decks to tournament? Smurf, why not? Okay, so here is ugly, because we can play 3 credits. Clearing a tag is basically worth 3 credits. But yeah, that was like the worst ice there. Could we float a single tag if we have 4 cards in hand? Yeah, okay, well, if we ordered our turn. This is really bad. But like, this is Apex economy, right? Like, this is why I love an early Banhar. But again, we'd have to assimilate for it. So I'm just going to draw up 1. So we'll float a tag. If they crypto crash us, it's not that good anymore. It's quite enjoyable, the podcast. It's a good place to be. They're not even scoring out. They know it's a Bologna and it's an IP block. And we have Apex economy. Okay. What do we do? How do we make money? How many cards in our deck say the word credit on them that like we could try and play on this turn? How many cards say credit? This one, that one, and like 1.5 of these. Okay, that can't be good. So Wasteland Gachapon is like the thing. It draws us money, but like then we're tagged. And like, what are we installing with Gachapon? Hunting Grounds is gonna be really good. No, that's for sure. Hunting Grounds is gonna be sick. The problem is like we have to clear tags. This is where Deuce's Wild is good, but like we have to just clear a tag. So like, I never love playing Wasteland because it is obviously like tempo negative as much as economy cards are. But like, I struggle to figure out whether we're gonna make value off of this soon enough for it to be relevant. All right, whatever. Underground works against IP block. It does, but then we still have to trace 3, which we can't afford. Like we have to install this and then be able to trace 3. Oh, we have a tag. Oh, we could have died. We didn't die. That's kind of cool. Like us installing the Amaku is the worst thing we could have done. And we actually probably need to destroy this. I don't think there's anything in our deck we can install for 2, so we're not going to do anything. Gotta get that paperclip. I've probably just better at trashing the Amaku or getting hunting grounds. Like, we break this for 3 regardless. Okay, I'm not installing anything face down. If we crack this, what are we trying to get? DreamNet would be like mediocre. Ugh. Can I credit on the Gacha trash so you have 3? Yeah, but then what are we getting? Do we want to go down to 0? Like, you're right, we would have got a credit. But like, what are we looking for? It's very likely to hit this hit in a simulator, which is like, that costs 3. Yeah, that costs 3. We could install that. DreamNet's like next to getting useless. It's really difficult. Second Wasteland? Yeah, that can't be it. Oh, good. Okay. Well, that's on us, I guess. I don't want to do this anymore. Can we Underground's better than Hush outside of Apex right now? If you're on Amakua, yeah. How's it going, dear? Otherwise, no. I just don't want to play this game anymore. Like, They could have at least paused before they trashed our wasteland. We can't steal Bologna. They might be on real agendas. But what do they can't hurt us if we don't have money, right? Oh, you see? I told you. We're totally safe if we don't have money. Now we can't turnpike us. We know they have an economic warfare in hand. This is going well so far. This is like, you know how when you play other runner factions, you play like economy cards on turn 1 to 3? Like, it's a bit different with Apex, right? Apex, you don't have economy cards on turn 1 to 3. And let me tell you, I like the Banhart Apex deck. But like, would have laughed it was Thoth on R&D. Motherfucker. You kidding me? Come on. Be nice. All right, well. It's not going to be very long. So we can do credit, install that. We can't even get the heartbeat down. We're literally too poor to get the heartbeat down before we die. We're literally too poor. Oh, so are they. Yeah, sure. I reckon Rashida wants to say something about that. Yeah, you're right. We did say we wanted out. Okay, well. They could have planned. They have so many things. Yeah, there you go. They have Rashida. Yeah, okay. They're being really coy about how they boomed Apex on turn 3. I think you should play an event. Yeah, I was thinking about it, honestly. Good game. Thanks for the game. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's like other decks have like, daily casts and like fermenter liberated counts. They just like economy cards. Our engine, like it's a good econ engine on turn 7. We'll do it again. Of course we're going to do it again. Of course we're not going to only do it once. If we play Deuces Wild to clear the tag. Oh my god, so good. Oh, Cat. No, Cat's going to play as Mari Prison again. Oh no, assets. You think I have money for assets? Played against someone recently who was playing a World Tree Apex deck with direct access to be able to install non-virtual resource mid-round. That was wild. Yeah, I've heard of that combo. I think that's quite cute. It's still really tricky. I wish there was other stuff, right? Like if you could do it with Da Vinci back in the day. Did you put 8 block in the A? Yeah, 3x. Let's go. Mulligan for heartbeat. Mulligan for heartbeat's not going to matter. Like we have to mulligan for economy. Like that's the thing is if you get heartbeat down and like Cat is trying to kill us, they just hit us twice, right? Like it doesn't change anything. It's just how slowly do you lose, right? Aesops though? Yeah. Aesops though. But you can't install it. You literally cannot install Aesops, right? Like it's not what's it called? It's not virtual. So we need to go find our 3x assimilator that costs 5 credits before we can put down our Aesops, and then we have to spend 2 clicks to flip up the Aesops. I'm not angry. Today's Snare Bears are root to Andre game. They're very nice, right? Hard mull here. Yeah, I don't want any of that. Best of luck. Cat's the best though, so I don't feel bad. All right, did Cat keep? Cat mulled. Sick. All right, we got 2 draws on the table. So if it's an AR enhanced security, like so be it. That's going to be bad for us. But we're going to go as aggressive as possible. If this doesn't hit a dream net, we lose the game. Shit. Ooh, Orca for 8 on turn 1's kind of sick. I'll get the hunting grounds down because it's free. And we ended up in this situation. Shuffle cards back. I'm rich. Okay. Shuffle 3 cards back. Sure, Gamble seems good. We already have a couple praise. We don't want that. Orca. Honestly, you're not expecting that many sentries. Maybe a drafter. Mad Dash seems like a luxury. Banhart has to go back. I feel like this is the best card in the game. We're never installing Orca. Why is there non-virtual resource in Apex? Are you able to install it? Yeah, Melius. There's a card called Assimilator that allows you to flip one of your face down cards, face up, almost never. So it gets around the installation clause. So the idea is, hold on, I'll just pull it up here so we can see it. This is the one, right? So it costs a lot, and then you have to spend half your turn, but you get to flip a card face up. So Unfortunately, that gets around it. Unfortunately, all install clauses. So something like liberated accounts that gets loaded with credits, you don't do that. But something like, you know, virtuals, that's kind of cool. Rip Orca, it's fine. Orca is gonna come on. I feel like Amani Sanai triggering once is gonna be more than 4 credits. Yeah, Orca is like, you know, gets to swim away in the tank in the sky. Sounds expensive for an Aesop's Workshop. It is. And for what it's worth, this deck is only on a single Aesop, so it's like not your game plan. There are triple Aesops, triple assimilator apexes. We're trying to get the ban hard down. So like the Aesops is a nice to have. But yeah, no, it's a lot of work. It's more work than any other ID. It's very accurate. We could have got a prey down. I just don't think we have a reason for face down cards. So overwhelming acids, Bladderworts, and what's the win con? Hard hitting news is like kind of a safe bet against Apex. Kat knew what she was playing into. But yeah, I think Bladderwort maybe fast events. We do have to keep our money down, so I think we check server 3. Like this is all useless. None of this helps the board state. Like none of this helps us win. And so we have to figure it's hard to imagine a worse hand. It's really difficult to imagine a worse series of cards. She didn't res. Excuse me. They didn't res the Batcam events on B. Okay, drafter. Excuse me about that. You may add 1 card from Archives to HQ. Okay, that comes back. There's something similar in startup now. Yeah, the startup version is like really quite good. And there's even like alternate unfair win conditions. Like it might be on mutual assured destruction. Raindrop seems like it might be good in this deck. It's a lot of influence, but yeah, it's definitely not bad, especially with Banhar. But like, I don't know, Raindrops, you need that certain, like, you need to be able to get it off on any server for it to be like legitimately feel good all the time. So we know that 5 is potentially a money. What could 4 be that's not better than to be iced up? DBS. Okay, whatever. Pronouns. Yeah, no, I messed the pronouns up real bad there. I feel real bad about it. All right. So a lot of card draw, a lot of servers. So server 5 is Amani. We can't really face check into drafter over and over again because the Rashida comes back little and there's a card draw on top of it. So like economy. Okay. Let's keep drawing up. All right, it's here. We have to figure out how to get this thing down. Once we get this down, we have to find a reason why we should have it. We currently don't have a reason to have it. Now we have been checking on the table as opposed to setting up. Oh my God. Raindrops is 3 influence? Yeah, it's 3 influence. It's like the same as Bravado, right? Like we could just play Bravado. But I think Deuce is wild. Like so much of this deck is that it doesn't do anything in the first 3 turns. So like just any kind of card that accelerates you to set up seems really important. But like, do we install this? Because then any card we install, like we save its install. Like none of these cards are good. None of this hand does anything. You should install stuff with Hunting Grounds and pray the drafter. It's going to be a lot of work and it's not going to push us forward enough. Like that's going to be a lot of effort. So we don't need this. These aren't unique. That's kind of neat. Like we can always just crack the Hunting Grounds, right? To pray the drafter on the spot. But it's, I don't know. I don't think that's that important. Do we think Apex with the eternal card pool available would be competitive? I think there's a chance, but it almost definitely wouldn't be more competitive than anything else, right? Like if, at the end of the day, if it comes to like, you can make a good Apex deck by playing Faust. Like you probably can play that deck in anything else, right? In standard right now. Uh-oh. They pick when Apex with Parry Sipper could be pretty decent. All right, we have no money and we have no board state. All right, we're just gonna try and win in singles. We literally can't afford to install anything. Anytime we hit an agenda, like we have to trash this before installing cards. Like this is, I love this because I love the Apex Banhard deck, but then finding in situations where like having economy cards in your hand is like really important. It's really important because you run into decks like this, right? Like now we can't install anything because if Cat scores out, like the money's going to return to hand. So first we have to trash a money, which there's no way to do that with this hand, right? Like you see how we literally, this deck is unplayable on this board state. And like that happens. That just happens with Apex. And it's one of the worst parts about Apex is that you just don't have access to the greater card pool of, you know, basic economy stuff. Chua. Oh, that's rude. I do think there's agendas in HQ. There's been a lot of drawing and not a lot of filtering. Should have prayed the drafter? I don't think so. I don't think Cat would be this low on credits. Okay, well that makes sense. But like trashing this, that doesn't put us forward, right? Like admittedly the worst thing, Cat doesn't have credits. We probably would have been better off doing credit running the launch campaign than going for singles in like immediate hindsight. But like as soon as we steal an agenda, anything we put back is gone. But it was clearly an agenda. You think that was clearly an agenda? Did they even? No, it was seamless. It wasn't clearly an agenda. It could be anything. Literally anything behind a drafter is good enough. I don't expect a seamless launch 4-2 artificial crypto crash. Is Apex just dead on the water until it rotates out? Apex has been dead since it came out, and I think that's largely a good thing. Right? Like, Apocalypse is the reason to play Apex. Apex has a lot of really cool tools. Heartbeat, mind you, almost won Worlds because there was a meta in which it was worth doing. Right? Like, if Cat scores at a Beal behind this drafter, we're fine. So we have to be worried about seamless launch into a 4-2 with relevant text. Like, that's not, I don't think we take that down. I beg to differ. I've had nice success in casual Apex as my outlet local meetup. Yeah, no, you can play Apex on certain tables and it'll be totally fine. I'm talking about like competitive Netrunner. Apex has never had a result anywhere. And like Apex doesn't do anything. Everything Apex can do, somebody else can do with way less effort. There's very little that's uniquely interesting to Apex, especially when Haley was around. Like Haley has that sort of Apex pseudo click compression that you'd want. And then the weirdest thing is like the best Apex card is best outside of Apex. Like a lot of these Apex greedy engines inherently cannot afford to Apocalypse themselves. I think there's just some minor changes. I think if Endless Hunger allowed you to stop and end the run from happening as opposed to break and end the run subroutine, like then we have something interesting. Maybe a bit frustrating, but I think something interesting. There's just like small wording stuff that could change everything. I don't see how Eternal Apex would be decent to good and standard. You'd play Busto cards. Yeah, but then anything else would do it better, right? I guess we just have to win off centrals. Okay, at least that's a Jua. It doesn't do anything. But like, what are we doing? Just clicking for credits for the next? Like, how do we ever come back into the game? Like every single click that we spend running a server and having to trash something is going to cost on average 2 to 4 credits, which like if we're just clicking for credits, like we can't afford to play that game whatsoever. I really like an Apex card, even though I'm not big on Apex. Consume is great. Which one's Consume? Oh yeah, Consume is cool. Consume does see play. It's a 5 influence card. Yeah, the Consume is, there's like 3 Apex cards that see play. I think also Reboot is like a very powerful card if pawn shop decks were really good. I just don't know if it's worth 5 influence. That's the best card we can get, but it's going to be returned by Amani like sooner than later. So like we can't really afford to install anything. I think we have to keep Wasteland. That can't be right. No, Apoc, I take it. Dana, no, how's it going? Did you see the Arkham 2024 thing today? That's a bit of a bummer. I was spreading Sengrins theoretical. Oh yeah, no, totally. So that's the Bologna coming out slow. So this is going to get scored and it's going to bounce something to hand. So like the fact that we just can't deal with an Amani reasonably is going to keep us out from playing anything. If Wasteland was whenever, I think that it could have been one of the core Apex Econ cards. If Wasteland said whenever, it would basically be better than an existing criminal card that rotated. That saw a lot at play. I think it was less influence though. What Arkham 2024 thing? Oh, they teased a new card today. Oh, you didn't see this. So they teased a new card from the upcoming product is what it was called, except it has copyright 2024 on the bottom of the card, which makes people think like, is there not going to be a new Arkham product before 2024? Or is this just an early version of the card and like the text is not correct? Like, we're not doing anything smart here. That's a Bologna, so we can't install anything. So just click for credits. If anything, we should like trash the launch campaign. Again, probably a long time ago. But when Cat scores this out, they go down to 1 and go back up to 6. Yeah, it's worth trashing this. Just make some runs, I guess. We haven't seen tag punishment. Seamless launches influence. Oh, it's a drafter. That's obviously kind of bad. I'd be surprised. They've been fairly regular with Arkham releases lately. They've been super irregular releases. Very inconsistent, actually. Like we've got 1 release a year largely, right? Toll booth. Okay. So what is server 9? It could be easily Rashida. We'd have to deal with that if it is. I saw the FOF stream they did. It was a little more sad than I thought, not seeing MJ there. Oh, that's true. It probably was the first stream without MJ. Yeah, I went and got Apex Decklist of the week. It's a Banhart version, but we're only on 2 banners. And Banhart would actually be kind of what we want here, right? Oh, it's a headline. Okay. If you don't install cards, you can't get a moneyed. We have a tag. Planogram? So that is the Bologna. So I have to figure out how to get 5 credits in there. That honestly might not be that hard. I think I figured it out. Well, technically the campaign and investigator box are separate releases, but yeah, but it's an investigator card, so it'd be even sooner. Oh, I see what you mean because of technically not a release. Yeah, no, that's very funny actually. Where money in Apex? No money. We'll share when you pack an entire cycle into huge boxes. I'm mentally spreading these releases across the old release. It's way slower than the old release schedule. Neon, like we used to get 2 cycles a year just about. We've got Seamless in hand, barely 1. Okay. So Bologna's still out and about. That's a Rashida in server 10. If we don't install cards, can't get crypt. I'm surprised that cat didn't push for the Bologna. A lot of cards in hand. Definitely agendas in there. Haven't seen a single spin doctor. Server 4 is a daily business show that they just haven't had the money for. This could easily be a ping, which would keep us out. We could always like Amakua, run archives, run ping. That'll do it. But then we need Bologna credits as well. And floating a single tag is actually kind of risky considering shipment from Vladismirsk. Oh, well, then I guess we just got biddier with other games. I am Netrunner. Yeah, no, it's good. There's stuff to do. It's, you know, you wish it'd be any other way. All right, so we want to win by stealing a Bologna with double seamless. Cat wins on Bologna here. So Bologna, we'd have to get through a ping. We'd have access to no paperclip. We have to get through the ping, and then we have to also have 5 credits. So how can we get that? Because I'm pretty sure there's double seamless on hand. That's the Bologna. So we'd have to install the Amakua. We'd have to run a server, probably not archives. We probably want to run server 1 in case of a virus. Be surprised, but whatever. Low risk. Then we're on 2 credits. We need to run this, break for 1 credit, and still have Bologna dollars. We are short about 5 credits we'd have to get clicklessly. 1, 2, 3. We have 1 extra click to generate 5 credits. That seems impossible. Stim hack. Oh, Rangi. Actually, I don't even know if this list has overclock. It might. No, it doesn't. It doesn't have overclock, but it was in a suggested change that we should stim hack our way out of this. Okay. Now, if we run this and cat pays 2, that means start a turn 4. That doesn't stop it from happening. $100. So that's really hard. So we have to win off of another server. I'm doing some math. Turns out I'm short like a lot of money. This deck is like the meme where the dude does a sick kickflip down a staircase, except it's not a skateboard, it's a rake and it's in the face. I think this deck is like way better than that. I think we played into 2 NBN matchups, which are really like, have the money now. Give me the money now or you lose. And like admittedly, the competitive Netrunner does that more than anything else. But like if this deck can do something, barring, you know, Amani, yeah, it actually does do something cool. I warned you about that Amani. Yeah, it came back. We trashed one of them. This is a bit of a problem in Netrunner. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna win off central servers. So we run R&D, we steal a Bologna, we run HQ, we win. Let's go. Core board state slowly increase in size every turn. Our board state, same as turn 1. On turn 1, we could have installed a face down card, so in fact. Wouldn't you need to break the drafter too? They could overinstall it if they unres. If they overinstalled it, like, we don't lose. So yeah, you're right. In theory, we don't. We stop them from winning, which is less good than winning ourselves, but better than losing. But no, you're not wrong. Yeah, it would be a problem. Fucking knew it. We just have to believe in ourselves. Okay. Rashida, daily business show, agenda. So we run HQ, run archives. Just go in. I'm trying. That was our line. Our line was win off Bologna. Give me an agenda. Give it to me. Ah. Okay. Got one more on me. Do we ever run archives? R&D? I feel like... Okay, say that's a blown it, right? 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there's 8 more agendas. So probably, I don't know, 4 of them. Freshy and R&D. Yeah, but is that better than seeing 2 in archives? Maybe. Is it better than running HQ? No, I think running HQ is good. There was a lot of card draw. So how many agendas are we expecting to see in the top 20? Sorry, I'm a mess. 26. We're meant to see 5 agendas. So if we do our math and we assume 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that means that there's less likely one in HQ. So it's either between HQ and R&D. But Cat's quiet right now, and Cat, that might mean that they're sweating. HQ's padded from the drafters. That's true. Yeah, no, there's a lot of cards in there. But I think 1 in 5 is what we expect. That being said, I think any age kind of, it doesn't change the math that much. It changes how fast we get there, not the actual numbers. Oh no, this is terrible. Oh no, this is fine. I thought they could put something from hand, but yeah, that's fine. Shit. Good game. Double seamless? It was double seamless the whole time. Oh, triple seamless. Style points. Good game. Did you have another one in there? Ah, beans. Yeah, that was it. Okay, so look at our board state. Admittedly, like, this is the sort of Netrunner you might not be expecting when you play Netrunner, which is the corporation is attacking you. Generally, it's the opposite, but sometimes this does happen. You have to watch out for it because it'll get you. Thanks for the game. But it's really difficult when your economy engine, right, let alone your breaker engine, is so many pieces. And like, you know, on average, how many, like, if you pick up a, what's the ratio of economy cards in a regular Netrunner deck? It's probably 1 in 3, maybe 1 in 4, 1 in 3. There's a big difference sometimes, you know. 1 of Apox for theme. 9 to 12. I wish there was 1 of Apox. I feel like you should just slam 1 of Apox because there's like board states like that where the 1 of Apox wins you the game, right? Like, yeah, you're right. If your engine spins together, you maybe don't want Apox, but when your engine doesn't, oh, it's the best thing you can do. I just noticed a stream title, and now wondering what percentage of us get the reference. I honestly don't know what the reference is, besides like what that is. Sometimes 15. You think 15 out of 45? It's way more. Wait, no, that's 1 in 3. That's what we said. No, okay, we're on the same page. Should have popped that ice onto HQ the first time through drafter. Oh, it would have made me tunnel on HQ real hard if you did it. Modern runner decks are like 2/3 money and card draw, feels like. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, it's so different, right? Like every hand basically in competitive Netrunner opens with 2 economy cards. If you don't have 2 econ cards in your opening hand, you're kind of in a bad spot. Which, like, you know, yeah, Apex is hard. It's, yeah. If you iced HQ a bit better, I think you would have pulled me in, and I'd be like, oh, it's in there, let's go. But I think 1 in 5 is what we're kind of expected, and that was 5 agendas and 25 cards. So yeah, depends how you define econ, but I feel like 12 to 15 is standard. I think that's reasonable, but like, let's just look at a good stuff Reg Anarch deck, which I think is a deck that has more money than common sense. But so this deck, in terms of economy cards, so we're on 50. Okay, we'll keep that in mind, 50. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm not going to count draw as economy, but technically it is. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You can count Hippo as an economy card. I think you should. Sort of. 14, 15, 16, 17. I think card draw is economy. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. No breakers, no cheat. That's half the deck. It's half the deck, right? And that's like what good fundamentals Netrunner kind of looks like right now. Half the deck is economy. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Sorry, I'm a bit under the weather, so maybe I'm in a bit more grouchy mood. I feel like we don't need to berate Apex more, but like, you kind of see what happens here, huh? Card draw isn't econ though. I didn't count card draw in that. That's not counting card draw, but I do think card draw is inherently econ. Any card that gives you better click efficiency to get to your econ is basically econ. This deck title man. Wait, I don't know which one, but yeah, probably all of them. Okay, let's build a deck. Actually, no, we got news. We got a fair bit of news. Man, get salty at Apex. I'm so sorry. Okay, there's actually some pretty big news. Let's start on the big one, I guess. Announcing a change in lead designer. You might be familiar with June Cuervo, who's been doing lead on Null Signal Games now for a while. How long has it been? It's been since before System Gateway, like slightly before System Gateway, if I'm not mistaken. So it's been a minute. June has been pretty vocal about the changes that she wants overall to the game as a whole. In terms of like speed and like power and haymakers and printing expensive shaper stuff. And overall, I think, well, obviously this is what's happening is June is stepping down as a lead designer at Null Signal. June, I think somewhat recently got a job at Riot working on Valorant. So I reckon that's a pretty big time commitment and might not have, you know, the sort of time needed for Null Signal. I just want to say on behalf of the channel, huge props and wishing the best in the future of all the cool game design. June has a pretty good background in game design stuff outside Null Signal as well. I really like the June era of Null Signal games, and I have no doubt the folks who are going to continue Null Signal, I think they're looking for someone's standing in right now, and I don't know if they're going to do external or internal recruiting to get that role filled. But a lot of the stuff that June and also taking over the designs of Greg Tung before have been some of the best Netrunner I've played. So really good stuff, June. Wish you all the best, and I'm excited to see what the future holds, because there's definitely a lot of designs that June has, you know, kind of moved forward that are in production that we're going to see in the near future. So that's really, really cool. We need an econ alignment chart. I think the key to this deck is to aggressively install cards face down. Yeah, but to what end, right? Like, to what end? We never used econ face down cards, unless like, yeah, maybe we take down a drafter, but that did not change the game. It was on Reddit, Dana. Yeah. Yeah. Gives you credits, save you credits is my square. Also under the weather, I feel you XP, rest, and hydration is the card drawing credits of being sick. Oh, thank you, Sophie. Very kind. And that sick Valorant is super fun, and I say that's someone hard stuck in like Plastic 8. I've never played Valorant. It's never been my sort of thing. I'm not a CS:GO player. Like I like movement-based shooters, not like hold angle shooters. So, but yeah, that's really cool. I'm excited to see the future. As we continue our search to June's position, McGregor, who's been taking care of leadership responsibilities while June is settling into her new job, will continue to serve as interim lead designer. Yo, McGregor, hopefully you're doing well. Hope this is like a nice surprise. But I'm excited to see feature. Speaking of Null Signal, hey, the first meta test online monthly event is starting in like 48 hours. It is this March 25th. It starts at 12 p.m. EDT. So that's not far away from now. This is a totally free standard tournament. It will be online, and the prize support is a circuit breaker invitational if you do win it. Based off the size, there could be 2 of them. This is what Jeff is organizing, and it looks like Null Signal is going to be trying to do regular online events once a month at a minimum, a maximum. And that's this Saturday. I'll be doing some casting. If you want to watch it, it should be streamed, I reckon, on twitch.tv/nullsignal_netrunner. So if you want to go over there, yeah, I think it's Null Signal Netrunner. Give a follow or like. You'll see that on Saturday. You can watch the VODs. Maybe they'll be up on YouTube as well. But yeah, it's great. I cannot read this as accelerated beta test. A beta. It's a meta test. Yeah, I think we're going to mess it up all the time. That's great. Anyways, there's going to be more of these events. Speaking of events as well, it won't be this Saturday because we'll be at this event, but we're going to be doing our GNK. I have to announce it formally as I am right now. We're going to be doing our online GNK. It's also open entry on the 2nd of April. It'll be next Sunday. I put out a poll from some of the patrons to say like what day makes more sense, and I believe that is the winner. So that's where it's going to be. It's going to be starting around the morning times Eastern. I'll have a post, and we'll have a date and ABR and stuff like that. It'll be in the link in the description. If you're watching this later, it should be there. If you want to join, it's a time zone that probably doesn't make sense for the whole world because it can't. It's really hard to do that. And we'll be doing it other times throughout the next couple of bits to do GNKs at other times. If you want to join, it's totally free to enter. If you want to pay, I don't know how to collect payments, but I'm just going to take any money. If you do, it's pay what you want. You can pay nothing. We'll give that to a local food bank is what we're going to do with extra money because the GNK has already been paid for by Patreon. So thanks for your support, everyone. That will be Sunday the 2nd. I'll make an ABR page shortly. Play for anyone who knows. Does NHG plan to archive the stream of the accelerated meta test streams to YouTube for posterity? I'm assuming so, Neon. Jeff has been taking lead on that relatively recently. So you saw things like Worlds and other events like the CBI made their way up onto YouTube relatively quicker much more quicker than they used to. So I'm not sure. I assume so, unless maybe it goes catastrophically and then they're really embarrassed about it because like, I don't know, it catches fire and then like says terrible things. I'm assuming it will be, but it's not my decision. I'd love to catch these, but generally will not be able to watch them live. Yeah, the VOD will be on Twitch at least for a month, but I'm hoping that it will be recorded and moved to YouTube at some point. Oh my gosh, Andre's a round earther who believes in time zones. Look, I believe in time zones. I'll just leave it there. On that note, we got a package in from Spain. Which one of these does what I want it to do? This one. Give me 1 second. Who's that cat? This came in. These are probably showing up on your door. It's all wrapped and stuff, but this is from the circuit breaker. We have applied for a circuit breaker thing. So we have a bunch of play mats. I think we got the extended version of it. Nana, you're much more interesting than any of this. So I think we have like a poster in here and then we have some alt arts. So I'm not sure what's in here because it's sealed. But this seems to be the booster side of it, which has some really cool seamless launch. That's a card that needed an alt art. So that stuff will be happening. We're going to be doing it on the channel, I believe. Same sort of idea. It'll be online. I'm not sure if there's going to be entry, but like for next Sunday and for this, we're going to be sending out prize support. Something I've signed up for right now, not knowing how much of a nightmare it's going to be. So bad. We're going to figure out how bad that is for us. But yeah, we'll be trying to send out prize support for all the events we do here, which is kind of cool, but daunting, but kind of cool. Hey, man. You want to say hi? Hey, John. Andre believes in complimenting his opponents. Sicko. What are you talking about, John? What are you doing? Big cat stretch. Good stretch. She's gone. I wanted to pick her up, but no, she said no. She's good, though. She's trying to get into the box that these came in, which makes sense. Cool. I think that's maybe it for news. I think we're just going to do some deck building. Again, I'm not feeling really great. I'm a bit under the weather. I've been for the last couple of days, so we're going to be on this really dour energy. Nana, you want to come say hi? If we were like really cool, she'll climb up on here. That's usually where she hangs out if she wants attention. Boxes are ultimate cat trap. She was like really interested in this one. And this one did come from far, far away's land. You have to pay duties on it too. It was a bit of a surprise. Corp deck. All right. There's a really kind of underwhelming card that I wanted to try out. I think right now, one of the things that are pretty good to do is you can play Wayland outfit and have good money and have good ice. You can from there do fast events. You can do whatever you want. And we're going to try and have a little bit of a kill twist. And what we're going to do is we're going to agree on some fundamentals. You see, what we're going to do is we're going to go and play this upgrade that no one plays. We're going to play Force Connection. This came up yesterday. Force Connection is an ambush. So it's an upgrade. You can install it anywhere. And when it's hit, not from archives. They hide that at the end. It gets really exciting until you read all the text. It's trace 3 for 2 tags. I don't want to hear you say checkpoint. No, we can't. It's gone. But I never believed in checkpoint. The thing with this is, what about if we treated it as snare? What about, so how much is 2 tags worth for the runner? Obviously, if they can't clear the tags, it's really good. It's really good if they can't clear the tags because we can maybe win. But if they want to clear the tags, that generally costs them around 6 to 7 to 8 credits, right? Like 2 clicks and 2 credits a piece. That's generally akin to somewhere between 6 to 8 credits. Now, if we don't boost into this, they just pay 3. That's obviously a deal. But what about if we consider this to be snare? What about if we forced ourselves with our infinite money? Is that anytime the runner hit this, we just paid 4? Obviously, we can pay more than 4, but if we just paid at a minimum 4 and we counted these as Wayland snares, how easy is it for the runner to interact with Trace 7 off not only a random central server, but you can put this on top of other stuff in the remote server. Like, this is an upgrade. There's a big difference between this and snare. Snare, you can't stack in your winning remote server with like border controls. And this we can. What will the runner do when they hit a Trace 7? Will they pay 7? Will they be unable to pay 7? And who's paying more? Generally, we're paying less inherently because of Trace 3. No one has 3 link. Outfit is cool, but did you know if they hit Force Connection and R&D out of R+, you can drop before they trash the same as snare? I did know that, but only relatively recently. but I'm hoping that we have the money to do this. Now we have to put like reasonable tag punishment for this to make any sense. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Yeah, that's right. We just keep bringing it back with trust operation. They think they're tagged and we just bring back more forced connections. What are we going to do with all that hard hitting news influence? We're probably still going to play hard hitting news, but yeah, something like that. So let's go. Yeah, the R plus draw interrupts the access and you actually get to rip the card out of their hand. It's like really weird. It is not intuitive and I honestly think it's wrong, but I believe a lot of people who said it's correct. What are we bringing back in Resing? I don't think we're going to play Trust Operation because it doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's cool, isn't it? Price tag costs 2 for 1, so 4 2 sounds on curve. And Price tag I think is like kind of a really good card. And I think you can play Price tag in this deck as well. Wasn't there some other card that interacts well with Force Connection? Or like tags? Because yeah, we're gonna try and hurt him. Overseer. So if you ask me, Overseer is a bridge too far. Overseer requires them to want to trash the thing, which at 0 cost they probably will. But then getting this down on top of everything, they just don't run your remote server anymore. War Ray Tracker, stop it. Why does everyone love War Ray Tracker? If you do not do reg capture, you can play increased drop rate and outfit. Reg capture. I don't like drop rate at all as a card. I think it's slightly better than it looks. But I don't care for this card that much. I don't know. Clearing bad pub for like 1 influence is like pretty reasonable. They don't want to take the tag, but like losing the bad pub is obviously with regulatory capture is the opposite of what you want to do, but I don't know if it's that important. Admittedly, maybe this is the worst thing ever because bad pub means more money to trace into our forced connection. Maybe what we're doing is terrible. Forced connection is a card I've always wanted to make work, but the trace is kind of mad. Trace 3 is like fine. It's like fine. If someone hits that, you know, don't play Hoshiko 419. They pay 3 credits, like cool. We could have played an acid. They wanted to trash. Okay. Ooh, all the honey's at the bottom. All right. Yeah, maybe that's a mistake. Maybe we want to play non-bad pub, but we'll see. The ice is really good. We're just attacking on so many directions. One of these is going to stick, right? All right. Protect your borehole with forced connection. Refuse to believe the outfit decks do not include 3 borehole. They don't. But the biggest issue is like borehole is really like, okay. The reason for borehole is technically it's an econ card, but more so it gets you bad pub quickly. The problem with borehole is like, I think people are still playing pinhole threading. I'm only like 80% sure they're still playing pinhole threading, but like you can't protect this if they're pinhole threading it, right? I do think borehole is like not bad. I think borehole is fine. We'll play, fuck, what are we, of course, we're gonna play 3. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it. Okay, so what else are we playing? We're playing border control 3x. Bulwark, is it a 3x or is it a 2x? We'll find out. Trebuchet 3x. Borehole is good econ. If you love borehole, you're going to love pad campaign or refuge campaign. You know, you might love refuge campaign. Refuge campaign doesn't give you bad pub though. It's okay. It's like totally fine. So here we need to put some tag punishment in. We also want to probably play a bit more fast events. I don't know if we want audacity. Maybe we can. Refuge campaign is influence though. Okay, you'll love launch campaign. It's like the same thing, but it pays you off faster. Oh my God, Maddie just got me more tea. There's just a tea train. Thanks, love. Oh, this one's piping hot. Ow. Trust out the borehole, obviously. You save good money when you do this. Oh no, hold on. When you res this, I still think you have to do it. Okay, this is not looking good so far, but we have to fill in the rest of it. So what do we want to do with our agenda suite? We're going to play hostels. I'm not sure if you play 2 or 3. Nice try, guy. News team sounds like a good fit. No trace needed. So news team is only a good fit if the negative agenda point matters and works well with our scoring pattern. If we're playing all hostels and then mostly all 3-2s, it actually doesn't matter that much. There's a big chance, unless they steal a hostel, that they'll need to hit 2 news teams. So kind of not always. You know, it's a great combo card with that stonks buyback. We're not encouraging the meta to become what it's eventually going to become, which is every deck is a stock buyback deck. Every deck is a stock buyback deck, Netrunner 2024. Which is good, because then there'll be Arkham content. Okay, what else are we playing? So it's either food here, or do we put the rest of the points back in? Like, we just put other points. Oaktown's money. We can jam that on top of our forced connection price deck. Nightmare and news team. So when we have the video talking about the numbers, you'll see that it's actually probably worth doing in certain decks. It's just decks that are mostly 3/2s or 4/2s or any 2s, generally not very good with negative points. Having the hostile does change it, but we only have 3 of them. Bow meta versus Stonks meta. Probably play a food in here. I don't know. That's just the brick where we don't try and score. This is awful. Okay, what's our tag punishment? We'll do 1, probably 2 boom, 1 edge of the earth, end of the line. Play snare. Probably not wrong. Them 2-1s bring up the buyback value. Keegan Lane, obviously. It doesn't even work. No, it doesn't do anything. What? How? Like just naturally Keegan? Like just chilling Keegan? 3 influence too. I don't know. I don't think so. Okay, we need ice. Yeah, it doesn't synergize because there's no window, but it's cool. And if they are tagged, admittedly our ice does it if they're tagged. Like it's still gonna mess them up. Okay, we're gonna play 2 bigs. I think we're gonna need so much absurd money that we can just like play 2 subsidies. Henry Phillips, let's go. I'll show y'all what Henry Phillips is. It's almost never Henry Phillips. Spin tax? Yeah. Eventually we realize why it's not yellow in the asset section and we get a bit uncomfortable. Okay, this is not looking great. We have a lot of influence though, so we have to figure out how to use that. Need some Mavs and shipment from Vlad's. Shipment from Vlad is kind of interesting actually as like tag punishment. But if we're doing shipment from Vlad, holy shit. Yo, okay, so OG. I don't think it's on this NetrunnerDB account because I used to have a NetrunnerDB account under another name. But like my OG deck, I think it's like the second video on this channel, is me playing Titan Transnational. Not this one, not that one. Maybe this. Mid-season replacement Psychographics. And if you've never played Psychographics in Titan, Psychographics with Project Atlas is absolutely like goofy. Because if you say the runner has like 4 or 5 tags, heaven forbid, mid-season replacement used to be able to give like 900 tags to a runner if they really kind of messed it up. But the idea is that you put them all in the Atlas. And that means at instant speed, you can go get anything. So instant speed, you'd get a spin doctor. You'd install the spin doctor. You'd shuffle back in your psychographics, and then you'd pull the Atlas and the psychographics and install. Like basically every turn, you could do this combo. And I feel like that's probably what we can do. We don't have mid-seasons. We're going to be playing all our bad stuff, probably hard-hitting news. But then we can use shipment from Vlad Grid and then kind of go from there. Yeah, no, this deck actually was like reasonably good. It didn't win the regionals, but like I think it was a reasonable deck and people didn't see it coming. Besides my meta, they saw it coming. Yeah, no, this deck was cool. Okay, so let's try and do that. That actually is a really good angle. Where's my deck builder? Here. Okay, so we have shipment from Vlad. That's probably too many of them. I do think we probably want to play hard hitting news. Something like that. So maybe we can cut down that to 2. Oh, we're going to need Atlases. That seems like an integral part of the Atlas deck. So we'll cut the Oaktowns. Overseer, how's it going? Overseer, it's like kind of hard. It's like as soon as you put 3 things in a remote server, nobody runs it. So Overseer Matrix is hard to get like incidental value from. Because if you ask me, like, say we had 2 things in a remote server, what would we rather them be? We'd rather them be a Prysac and a Force Con. Like this is like ultimate third wheel, and like Overseer Matrix has some value. It's just like generally in horizontal decks or stuff like that. Clot Looms, yeah, it's hard to clot a Vlad Grid though. It's like really hard. What situation do we land Force Connection? Thanos, I have no idea, and we're going to find out together. I literally have no idea. Now, how many copies of kill cards do we have in this deck? I think we had 3 Scorched Earth. Which is like, yeah, F it. Let's try that. Is that better than Boom? No, hold on. One of these tabs is the deck builder. So maybe we can do 2 booms, 1 end of line. Maybe that's like kind of good. 50 cards, 9 ice. Yeah, well, we have to fix that. Is Econ Warfare worth a slot? I feel like we're so bloated that it probably isn't. But like on the cusp of it. Vlad better than Psycho Recon? Yeah, we're doing Vlad for sure. Yeah, pretty sure. Is this angling for a kill with a smattering of a? Yeah, it's like we have 2 options. There's a chance that we want to swing into one of them harder than the other. Right now we're kind of middle of both of them. Prysac seems sus. Yeah, Prysac seems sus. I think Force Con seems less sus than Prysac, but Prysac seems sus. But like we have to make the rest of the deck and then we'll see what we cut back. But yeah, no, for sure. We're doing weird stuff. Oh, Borehole has to go. Yeah, of course. That doesn't make any sense. Is Q storage is over capacity, I think. Okay, hold on. So we'll play an Afshar, I guess. Maybe 2 of them even. What else do we want? What's a good ice? Our ice is actually really good. We're going to play some Mouse Lie. Those are pretty hard to deal with. What else do we really want? Our influence, we have one more if we want, like something really strange. How much ice is this? This is 14? That's like, how much did we play in a Rush Wayland deck in like circa 2017? 14! I think we figured it out. 20 operations. 3 assets. Oh man, that's great. Maganet? I think we could do Maganet. I feel like I've been playing more Maganet and less anything else. -1 hostile plus -1 above the law plus 1 GFI. Interesting. I think we should play a single Audacity maybe. What do we do here? We are on 10 agendas here. Like this is pretty common. Global food, but we did play real 3-pointers. We played high risk, but high risk made a lot of sense. This card led you just get the runner's money, which made sense for a mid-season deck. You scored one of these, like it just happened. Did you see the Reddit thread with the old magazines from 1996 about Netrunner? Hey, Nato, no, I saw that somebody uploaded them, but I didn't look into them. But I know someone uploaded the old magazines. I think Hostel's so damn good in the outfit, it's hard not to run 3. But we could cut some of that. I think we end up cutting the price X. I think single tag is like not good enough. We just need double tag. Double tag or nothing. This is a deck, right? We're short 1 ice, I think. Let's draft a subs. And then we want something we can jam behind. A cat. I'll just shoot a murder. I'm hoping so. What do we want to jam behind? Like, I feel like just an ice wall is good enough. Maybe we can do the Maganet. I feel a bit slandered. There's a book about how to play Netrunner on Amazon for like 20 bucks. Like OG Netrunner? Did I miss deck of the week? Yes, Thomas. We played 2 decks with Apex. I had a great time. How good is this hand? It's pretty bad, actually. How good is this hand? Oh, that's sick. We just rip that off the top. I think we got something. Calling in Maganet one more time. I'll get my uncle at Twitch to shut down the stream. Maganet. So Nanako, the local cat, when she's really hungry and she isn't getting the attention she wants, she goes to the fridge, which we have magnets on them, and then she just pulls things off of the fridge. And you know how your cat speaks English if you're English speaking, but like they don't speak proper because they're a cat and it's cute. She says Maganet. That's where it comes from. Some of this stuff is pretty funny, especially the part likening Netrunner to Robo. Make Enigma great again. Honestly, Enigma would be fine. I'm sure it's kind of doing Enigma's job, but I honestly, I respect Enigma. Let's try this. We'll probably 2 little ice, but like we got forced connection. This is worth like 7 ice, right? Okay. Mid-seasons 2017 special. Let's go. We're going to find out which parts of this work, and then whichever ones do work, we'll do more of those. Whichever parts don't work, we'll do less of those. And then eventually, we have to, by definition, get to a good deck. Seasons 2017 special. The outfit, not just outfit. Upgrades are coming to be more taxing than ice versus turbine now. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm a huge turbine doomer just yet. Like I see the writing on the wall, so like I'll be there. We'll carry candles together. But yeah, no, you do want other ways to attack the runner than just having good ice. So I kind of like it. Corp, let's go. Been watching the stream for several years and still never seen the cat. We just did a widescreen and she strolled through. Literally like did a cat stretch. Man, yeah, you just missed it. Ken Tenma. Okay, run events. Love it. All right, run events means interaction, means hard-hitting news. We have to make sure HQ is like pretty well protected because of the diversions, let alone I'm expecting embezzle. I think you can kind of rush out ahead of turbine, at least more than you could with boat. Yeah, for sure. There's like, but that's the problem. It's like, I don't like Netrunner where as soon as you've gone long enough, the game is over, which I'm not saying exactly it is, but you're right. Like the early game is still like what you'd expect it to be. This hand is like, honestly, like kind of in the middle of the road. Our top deck is going to make this hand. Our top deck made this hand, but unfortunately we cannot jam that one out. So I'm going to respect HQ. I'm just gonna get as much money as I can. And if they want to run, we have hard hitting news. It's that simple. I have 19 credits. You have 5 plus your run event. Your credit from run event. I don't know which tea to drink. That is literally a cup of honey. Cool. Let's get the other one. Okay, for those who don't know, who maybe got into Netrunner relatively recently and picked up like System Update and like Ashes Cycle, if you scrambled all the IDs together, could you tell which ones were old FFG ones and which one were not? Like, could you look at Ken and be like, is it like, do you know, is Ken a null signal design or is Ken not a null signal design? Scared to run on 3 credits when I'm on 27 on turn 2 seems good. The book is Mastering Netrunner. It was written 1997. Is it, how can I get that? Carpe Diem, technically a run event. Oh, I thought they'd be a coward, but they have in fact breached the middle of the board and stolen an atlas for their troubles. Unfortunately, the news will be hitting hard today. Second run event, max inefficiency. Oh, it's happened, my friends. It has happened today. They have 4 credits. Yes, the bad publicity is a problem. If we just do beautiful 2, we have... I played Ken my first regional. How was it? Are you still going to pay 4 out of principal? Honestly, I was considering it, but then I realized if the math was hard, yeah. Oh, you have 2 tags, my friend. Yeah, but that's kind of sick, isn't it? Didn't that feel good? Something I've been struggling with being newer to the game. Oh, really? You can't tell. Different NSG from FHG. That's interesting. For me, it's not so much the templating. It's more like kind of the power level or how nuanced they are. But I guess they're not entirely true. Removing 1 tag, I think, is smart because they don't lose to just a boom. So now we're just going to ice up everything. We're going to take down the class act and we're going to hard A news. We're going to, yeah, that's what we're going to do. Oh. Okay. So just be cool. Everyone be cool. Everyone be cool. Nobody make a big deal. Nobody make a big deal. Just don't get inside job. Boomerang 2 would do it, but like inside job is what you're expecting. Just keep this. Be cool. Came in like 70th and didn't get the alt art. Ah. Keep them out. Our money went fast. Oh, we got $2 back. That's kind of cool. It's weird. After sometimes isn't probably not the best ice, honestly, when they have bad publicity. I feel like we maybe, come on, no, 50-50. Yeah, damn it. Damn it. Nice. Are you serious? I knew that was going to happen. I think we only have 1 boom. No, are we on 2 boom? We're on 2 boom, 1 Iota I. Respect. All right, well, they still have a lot of tags, and like maybe we still do a psychographics play, or whatever we call psychographics this year. Okay, money. Okay, it's not getting better. It's definitely not getting better. They break this for free. Yeah, I wonder if like Enigma is just better, because like barring the HQ positioning on this, the face check is eaten by bad club. Hey, Nosy, I went to my first meetup yesterday. It was great. Went from pulling me back into the game. Went 2-1 with Ken. Yo, speak of the Ken respect. That's sick. Glad you had a good time. Yo, man, meetups. I haven't been to a meetup in a minute, but they're happening in Montreal, and like it's the best part of Netrunner. Or Hordem. I'm not a big Hordem fan, but I feel like Hordem's coming back if people are in Buzzsaw. I don't mind Hordem. Hordem's like just good enough. They have to figure out 2 here. Like they cleared a tag, which maybe looks like they want to commit to clearing a tag, like the tags. Oh, that's annoying. Well, we just trashed that. Yeah, we do just trash that. Oh, figured it out. Our hand looks bad. Hordem is better in a post-boat meta. That's also a big part too. Yeah, post-boat. There's a lot of ice that has to be reevaluated. I know like a big conversation on Gatekeeper has come up. Now Gatekeeper's actually like kind of good. But like it's the same with Trebuchet. Like nobody face checks into Trebuchet well. Nobody does. It's Boomerang or nothing. They're cleaning the tags. All right, we have to do something. Hey, Sunworks. Hordem is Kima meta, New Hampshire, due to the high number of AI. Are you actually triple advancing that thing though? How are you able to do that? That's so wild. Okay, well, some games you're meant to win. Some games, you draw literally 5 of 10 agendas. Whoa, wait. How many agendas are left in the deck? There's only 3 more agendas and 32 cards? Trebuchet was great with Batty. I don't remember that those were legal at the same time, but they probably will. They probably were. This is cursed. This is super cursed. Luckily, the Rashida will draw into another agenda. All right, well, I thought they did inside job, but they didn't. Oops, all agendas. Okay. This doesn't end the run. This is messed up. This is not meant to happen. We were meant to play the boom on turn 4. That's fine. This is what you're dabbling with the dark arts, the statistics leads to. Well, I've run the statistics, and this is not meant to happen consistently. This is what they'd call a weird case. You know, we're cool. We just play cool. No one home? This doesn't do anything when you have 0 credits, let alone we're going to buff the lot. That's kind of sick, isn't it? It's here, right, to taunt me just in time. Get out. Stop. Like, this kind of the truth of the matter is, oh, we probably actually should throw out the food. Yeah, we should throw out the food, not this. This actually is a 3-2. Yeah, we shouldn't do that. Yeah, that was a mistake. I forgot we had 3 bad pub. Like, we're actually getting there. They have more money than we think they do. I wonder if he's no. That's mid seasons. You throw out an agenda so you can punitive them. Oh, okay, cool. That's good. Well, we only have 12 credits, which is like not enough for this ridiculous server. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's one more agenda and 24 cards. One more agenda in 24 cards. Oh, we should have drawn first. I would rather put a mouseless there than the magnet. Yeah, that was a really botched turn. I hope it's obvious why. IA Atlas, it's no good. We lose this single inside job. They're on 3. Yeah, no, to be able to score on a remote server, we have to be able to play around inside job. And to a small amount, tread lightly. But no, if they inside job this, we have to res both for 17. We can't do it. Yeah. This is the one deck that's like definitely on 3 inside job. Oh, reclaim. Okay. Program destruction. Jam the remote to get the ice res so you can get a 4 BP. Yeah, it's a bit worse now that we shuffled away 1 regulatory and gave 1. But yeah, getting to 4 BP is like super important. But like, paper clips in the bin. So we can do install, like we have to do install in credit. So we have 17. Tread lightly might get us. 14 right with the rebate? No, but they inside job this, they don't hit it. Right? Like if they inside job, they don't actually fire the subroutine. So we need the 17 up front. This is obviously the worst ordering too, right? Like inside job, they still get through this because this doesn't end the run. Admittedly, the Trace 6 might matter. It's on res. Oh shit, excuse me. I thought you meant the subroutine. Yeah, you're right. 14. Yeah, you're totally right. I thought you meant the subroutine firing, which doesn't make sense. Yeah, because we res we get a bad publicity, so it only costs us 14. But I think this is still a bad play. We have to hope that they're scared of us because like they might mayfly. That's an AI. That's actually really sick. Because now like all that matters here is this trace subroutine. Overclock. Oh, HQ. Do we res the mouse here? To 50-50. If we res the mouse, they're already overclocking through the bulwark. If we res this, hold on. Hey, Pouch, how's it going? So we res the mouse. We're on 13. They might let parts of it fire. It's a 50-50 on HQ. I wonder if they're on shutdown or something. Like this HQ run kind of makes sense. Like we're clearly really flooded. But like this is already 3,000 credits. I wonder if we res this if they can't break it. We're 1 short here though. Like if they give us the credit, we can res both of these. But they could just bounce here and then like mayfly this remote server. Maybe that's bad. Yeah, I think we're 1 credit uncomfortable from this. Yeah, we might have messed this up. Doing well. I'm finally done with my previous horrible job. I'm looking forward to new adventures. Yay, congrats. That's really good to hear. Did you get to do like a quit kind of moment? Or did you just, you know, decide you could do better for yourselves and just like disappeared in the night? Which like, that's cool too. Mostly using the time off to play Netrunner. Hey, that's really great. They lost the laundry. They're going in. How can I see the mastering NR from 1997? It was posted on r/Netrunner, I think. Oh, the book? I don't know. I think someone said it was on Amazon or something. All right, so we get 2 credits from this because an AI is installed. So actually, we're going to get our money back. Paperclip's coming down. They're not short if they use their overclock, but they go down to 0, I think. Never mind, I did my math wrong. 50-50 here. Oops, all booms. All right. So what is this, a shutdown? I think we're happy if any of the sites get shut down. As weird as that is. But they preserve the mayfly, which is kind of cute. Yeah, I think if we threw out the boom and we had 2 of these in hand, we'd be in an okay spot. We don't have audacity, but like we're meant to tag them. Imagine they had a forced connection there too, right? Like any access into a forced connection is like incredibly problematic. As much as like we just double pay through the no one home, which like we can afford, sort of. Now we're not scared of running R&D until they run archives, and even running archives is a good trade for us because it eats the magnet. The magnet has to eat the mayfly. I think we'll res this. It drops us to 13. That's actually 1 short of the decide to run the remote server, but they would really need an overclock in hand. So I'm going to take a risk here. I think they should have ran the spin doctor, right? Like the spin doctor is free with bad pub. Well, this actually like could have been a face check. Like that's a Stavka, it's game losing. No, sorry, that's a hyperbole. It's not game losing. But it's not good. But I do think we get punished hard here by inside job. So maybe they're playing us. More of disappearing into the night, but not without letting them know in what ways they suck during my exit interviews. Yo, exit interviews are so important. I love exit interviews. Maybe it's like the kind of affordable therapy for like the majority of people, but like, I don't know. I think it's really important to know when someone messed up. Nothing theatrical. Yeah, I don't know. They're great. Hey, I'm leaving now. This is what I thought was going wrong and what caused me to leave. Are you going to do anything about it? Probably not. But hey, we tried. Earthrise for 2. They have on 1 credit. Mind you, they do have 3 bad pub though. So like getting through the after is going to be free eventually. Okay. What can they run though? This means they're going to want to run a bit. We just need a 1 bad pub res. Like if the bulwark gets resed, we win. In more complicated terms, there's like a middle step there, but like, you know what I mean? So it's hard, right? Like they want to play run events. They're going through the magnet. So this is going to eat the mayfly. Again, I think they could just run the spin doctor. They don't get their like bankroll, but this means R&D is now like scary. But now they have to like mayfly through this, which is all their bad pub. That's fine. They get a penny shaver. They get a bankroll. That's fine. Oh shit. That's not me. My bad. There's 2 agendas in here. Yeah. All right. Bring them back. Hostile gets you? Yeah, hostile gets it. I think there's a hostile and then we have to survive it our HQ. I think if they don't res this, we do the hostile. But if like they do run this, which why would they? Maybe the bravado server too. Yeah, it's fine. We're expecting 3 bravados we haven't seen. Hey Macaroni, how's it going? My colleagues are actually great people, so there's hope the heads will actually improve things for them. That's also like a really good thing. If you leave, to have a chance to improve it for those who didn't. 1 turn with a borehole and you have the bad pup you need is all I'm saying. Yeah, even like we have no advanceable ice, so like you can always like install a mouseless and then like too big to fail if you top deck it. But yeah, the borehole would have got us there. Top hat. Whoa, okay. They might be on insight. We have to defend R&D. So the question is, how do we defend R&D? If they have insight, they can find an agenda. They actually can find 2 agendas in theory, but it's hard to do that with this little money. I think we just take the risk that this top hat doesn't do anything. Besides, maybe they lock the top 5 of the deck. But again, there's only 3 agendas and 22 cards. So like, I don't care. Here. Let's get a red capture. Going good, got a raise, party time. Hey, congrats. Was it deserved? Or are you gonna feel guilty? Because that money could have gone anywhere. And it's going to you. Congrats, oh, that's great. Fermenter for 6 again. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's only 2 agendas in R&D. So the idea with Inside Top Hat, which now they don't have enough clicks to do, is that when they run Top Hat, the text on Top Hat's like really confusing. Because you have to choose the number before seeing the card. When this came out, I know a lot of people thought like, oh, I can see all 5 cards and then pick one. It doesn't work like that. So it's basically just which card do you want to access. And accessing 1 to 5 are all equally like, ooh, that's a good play. I'm into this play. Oh, that plays on the 1 of regulatory so well. Man, I wish we kept another one in hand. Game Over would be fun outfit. I have never played Game Over. Brought on HQ, that's good. Okay, so it's a 1 in 4 we lose here. Or at least don't win. Yeah, Game Over is really strange. It like doesn't do a lot for as much as it asks from you. How do I feel guilty? I mean, you know how hard I work. Yeah, there you go. Okay, what do we get? A credit? Nice. All right, so Bulwark is 7. We don't get the 2 credits, but it's still 7. That's a lot. Obviously, it's only 3 with that pub, but like, you hope to close the game by this time. Come on, mouseless. Nice. All right, we'll have it. Ah, the dream is alive. 8 points. Good game. Yeah, we flooded up really bad. We definitely shouldn't have kept the food. Was in yeah. We had, I think, 6 agendas hand for a moment. It was getting bad. I only take off 3 hours to watch Netrunner once a week. I am technically like the worst thing to happen to the company you work at for efficiency. And I'll take that honor. Thanks for the game, eh? Hey. Excuse me. All right. Hey, our opening was actually pretty sick. It was a bit ugly, and I think the pressure that they put off was like really perfect to shut down our combo. But like we had the early aggression, there was the respect of the force connection, everything we wanted to do besides draw into our kill punishment or at least hold into hand, was okay. And we obviously drew really poorly. And if we didn't draw like that, we might have been a bit more aggressive on the turns that they were clearing the tag. So I would count that as a field test success. I also spending about 30 hours watching NBA during company time. So all right, they win. Adam's interesting. Adam has cards on the table, so if we can go ahead and hard hitting news turn 1, that's pretty good for us. We're going for an always be running though. Nice. So that means Adam has to run first click, has to trash the cards they see, sees 2 from HQ in the top of R&D. So we can hard hitting news Adam as soon as turn 1 based off of how it goes. Now, in terms of our ice, we have a lot of ice that has more than 1 meaningful subroutine. So like Bulwark is relatively good. Trebuchet is like game winning if it does connect, but you just click through half of it. I think we can keep this hand. You can mulligan into worse into Adam. I think an Adam gets you have to take safer hands because like they just send it HQ turn 1 if you really want to. We're going to ice up HQ and R&D. Good thing is if they run Spin Doctor, they have to trash it, which that's hard. And they also have to run first click. So like if they, I guess the most expensive card to trash would be, man, imagine they hit a too big to fail turn 1. They have to pay 5. That seems good. So I'm just going to do this. And send it. They have to send it. Full speed, Kevin. Going HQ. Okay, so they have to trash a Spin Doctor very likely. Hard hitting news, Spin Doctor. Okay, so there are 3 credits after seeing a hard hitting news. That can't be a good feel. Imagine you hit a too big to fail there. You're on 0 turn 1. So rough. Click 1, you're on 0. I will deny all of this. They also saw the top of R&D. We got to keep that in mind. Yo, Jake, how's it going? Hopefully you're doing well. I left you a message. I think I might have messed something up. So I have a message for you if you want to respond to it. Hopefully you're doing well. It's been a minute. Career fair for DJ. I wonder what they're going to get here. Probably just the HQ pressure of Steve, but there's not 2 cards in heap. This makes things a lot better. I wonder what else you'd want. Wait, I can pick Woo? Seems wrong. Yeah, that hasn't been updated. Yeah, apparently Woo's still part of the card pool, but the Gmods have to be part of the standard card pool, so yeah. So you can't pick that. I think there was a while too you used to be able to pick rotated cards. So it's Cat's All. Okay, that makes sense. In terms of barriers that we're running that actually end the run, this is a good enough res. It looks like there's something on R&D that's worth stealing. But this is a tag that's just going to connect. Like this is, in theory, you could logic bomb here. Opposite looks sorry, too busy winning the bake-off. Yo, congrats. I didn't watch the last episode, but that's good to hear. It's retro night at the club. All right, they're going to go through that. We're on 3 credits only, and they steal regulatory. Okay, cool. Wow, force connection. That'd be sick. So we can do credit, hard hitting. That's probably fine. We can recover with a too big to fail off the top if we really need to. If we don't draw, it's hard for them to win because there's just not enough agendas throughout the game. Does NHG errata some Gmod traits at some point while it's out? No, they never errated any Gmods. It's just the pool of like standard legal cards has changed, but no card has ever added or lost Gmod. All right, if they hit the boom, that's bad. Spin Doctor, they have to trash it. Oh, nice. Okay, well that we didn't pay for, but that's 2 more tags. And if this boom survives, it survives. Fenris used to allow Liza. Oh, is she a Gmod? It's been such a long time. Yeah, she must be a Gmod. That's a really cool interaction too. I think there were some times where that was actually totally worth doing. They don't run HQ here, they lose. They do have 5 hand size. They lose the clickless card draw safety first. All right. That's going to fire. Again. Nice. Good game. Yeah. That can just happen. That does just happen sometimes. Hey, thanks for the game. Sorry, you missed that one. Yeah, for sure. Hitting a too big to fail on turn 1 is rough. They didn't hit a TBTF, but too big to fail is like a 5 trash cost card. Hitting that on HQ in your first click is so rough. Only one of those should have 2 O's. Thanks for the game, eh? Yeah, they could have gone back there. It was either an agenda or the boom. If they hit the boom, like if they actually trash the boom, I don't know what we do. We square at the hostel, and then hopefully we top deck some sort of combo piece. The R&D run was actually lethal. I gave you 1 credit to boom. Oh, were we actually short on credits? I didn't realize. I didn't consider, but you're right. We were on 2 credits, so that put us to 3, so we clicked to 4. Yeah, hitting the mouseless actually was like not the play, as long as we didn't have like too big to fail or something. Hey, cheers. Yeah, you're totally right. Early game force econs, the situations are happening more than I thought. Yeah, so like we talked about Apex, where early game force economy is like a real thing, but like admittedly, there's only 1 card in the game that forces you to run, let alone click 1. So like most atoms don't play always be running because it allows you the possibility to like money up before like confronting turn 1. We're not playing economic warfare. It could be even worse sometimes. Yeah, I do think I'm doing damage to my voice. I probably should not stream as long today. But yeah, what is feeling is when they do go tag me, we are feeling a bit more fragile than I'd want to. Like it doesn't feel like we just have to keep the boom. I don't know if we should be playing more end alliance. It seems harder, but like we've been losing near booms on just about anything. And in just about any game we played. All right, we're running it back. Oh, there's honey in that one too. Yeah, let's do it. All right, so it's not Adam, it's Essa. Sabotage can be a bit tricky. There's going to be some respect for the hard hitting news. Our opening hand has Rashida and hard hitting in it. We don't want the food early, and the line and Atlas early is not that great. We want to open for money. The best thing here would be Rashida and Ice, but we were not going to take that. All right, that's a bit better. Sabotage is a bit hard when you're a combo deck because it's harder for you to sabotage from hand. Now we do have good money here. So I think we're just going to do our good money thing. We're going to get a Rashida on the table, and we're going to get this on the table. If we get Chestushka, it's fine. We have Spin Doctor. If we get Finality, it's fine. We have Spin Doctor. And if they run HQ naturally, which they might be scared of, considering past circumstances, that may be fine for us because we have a force connection there. That's sick. I'm kind of scared of Essa. Sometimes Essa just has the gas. Cards or credits? I think early hands, we can do cards. Like, click 1 on 3 credits. Cards is not that good. It's like, they can't play Liberated. Fermenter is a bit too slow. It might be economy. Like, you're going to see economy events and Ghost Tongue. That's for sure. Yeah, Dirty Laundry is like the only playable econ card there. Hit a force connection, please. Oh, sick. Here's 2 tags. Cool. Force connection has felt good. Like, they die as soon as next turn if they don't clear the tags here. Oh, that was so good. I don't know. This card seems a bit better than I think it would be. That being said, like it's still, that's kind of a risk to hard hitting in dirty laundry into hard hitting news. But that's kind of like they gave us the choice. Like if their economy is going to be interaction based, or they have bad pub, Rashida's come down. This is just gets the card out of hand and they get 2 credits. That's not bad. But I don't think they're going to clear 2 tags. They probably should clear a tag. I think running hot here would be pretty good. Time bomb. Okay, wow. So we don't have a boom off the top. Do we just score at the hostile and give them time to clear the tags? Maybe with the Rashida. With the Rashida. Or do we score at the hostile from hand? The hostile doesn't actually do that much. Like this seems better. Oh, we have a click left. Very good. Congratulations. You are tagged. Okay, so they're officially tagged, so they can't consider clearing the tags. So the question is, can we win sooner than they can sabotage? So to date, we haven't drawn a single copy of Shipment from Vladisibirsk. That would be okay. They have to contest the Spin Doctor before anything, and I think we'll just let it go. I don't think we need to draw any of these cards. Them spending a click on this is fine, but they can't sabotage until this is trashed. I think there's a small chance that you want to ice up the Spin Doctor, but yeah, maybe, actually. Keeping an ice Spin Doctor is really good, and a lot of these acid decks fail to find slots for pinhole threading. Is standard S on Marrow? Yeah, almost always. It's really hard to get hand size up, and Marrow's like not bad. Marrow's definitely not bad. It's also really cheap, which is like kind of good. But yeah, I think S almost always needs to worry about the hand size thing. And like admittedly here, Marrow kind of gets them out of it, right? This is where Afshar doesn't feel great on the basis that the credit's lost on here. Stargate? Oh, you don't want to Stargate. We have a Spin Doctor up. Come on. Project Atlas, end of the line, Trebuchet. So they can't let us have the end of the line. So they have to trash the end of the line. But like we have a Spin Doctor up. I don't think you want to Stargate. All right. So we're going to draw an Atlas into a Trebuchet. Okay, let's go. Mandatory. Okay. So Trebuchet hitting a Stargate would be nice. Trashing the Time Bomb also might be relevant. I do think we have to ice up the Spin Doctor. Atlas with a counter kind of gets us there as well. So we could do install advance and then just ice up something. I think that's reasonable too. Atlas with a counter like gets us a way out. They know that's an Atlas very likely. So here they'd have to get their Buzzsaw from 2 cards in hand, or they'd have to get Botulus, which like if they steal that, that's fine. And then we have to get something here on R&D. Trebuchet is a bit expensive. It drops us down to 4, but it can trash a Stargate. I think we're actually better up just icing up the Spin Doctor. Yeah, I'm not worried about the Stargate. Admittedly, we'll never draw into our kill punishment, but that's like why we have this Atlas token. All right, Spin Doctor above the law border control. Probably Spin Doctor goes. Now, if they run back, they can force the Spin Doctor. So maybe icing this up was actually wrong. I just didn't want to pay 3. But it looks like they're not contesting the Atlas, which means we can win in 2 turns. Why no ice on R&D? If they're just Stargating and we have a Spin Doctor, it really doesn't matter. Right? Like if they want to go trash the Spin Doctor, like fine. Like protecting the Spin Doctor protects this. It also protects against sabotage. Like icing this up to some extent is quite relevant. I don't know. Like I don't think you ever want to Stargate with a Spin Doctor on the table. And that's the second time they've done it. So now they're going back. I think we can let them trash the Spin Doctor. And then if they want to go back a 3rd time, then we shuffle. Like they just spent a lot of clicks on this. Because now we know there's an Atlas on top. We actually let them have the Atlas, honestly. We probably should let them have the Atlas. Let's be honest. Stargate with Sabo as well. You know what is getting aboed? Sorry. Oh, it's back. Yeah, I do think we should have let them have the Atlas. Because now we win with Boom next turn. We have to sabotage 3. Okay. Whatever. We'll do the one that's definitely not a disaster. And we have 2 booms in here and we have 4 credits. They can't clear 5 tags. If they get a Marrow down, I think they might have enough hand size. I think that's the only thing we're weak to here is Marrow. Yeah, we're weak to Marrow, I'm pretty sure. But they also have to get the Marrow down and hand size up. I think that's impossible. Pretty likely dead. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. You can totally win though. You don't. I mean, Stargate with Sabotage feels like a bit of a nombo since it shows the corp will get sabotaged from deck. Oh yeah, that's totally true, right? Like we can make decisions. If they Stargate and then Time Bomb goes off, we know we're trashing. I think you're totally right. That actually is like super bad. It's the same thing too, like playing Sabotage when also like multi-accessing R&D. Like that can be really bad too. Because if they dug 4 on R&D and didn't steal or trash, like you just say, okay, whatever. I think we can just do this and 1. All right. All right, they have a lot of clicks here. Credit. Sure gamble. What do they need 9 credits for this turn? I think they just need to get as many axes as they can. Oh, they're just removing tags. Oh, that's sick. That's sick. That unfortunately isn't enough though. But they just got enough clicks to get rid of enough tags. Oh wait, we only have 1 end of the line in the deck. Oh shit, we only have 1 end of the line. I thought we were gonna pull another end of line, but they basically just got all the clicks in the world with double running hot. But yeah, we should have shuffled back in the end of the line. I didn't realize that was actually a thing. Man, that's so bad because we have 2 booms, 1 end of the line. So that's not going to do it for us. Now we still have fast advances or win conditions, so we're just still going to go for it. But that was really sick. We're back up on 12. We have a hard-hitting news. Stargate's going to fire. Stargate, hostile, Afshar, boom. Okay. And we know there's 2 hostiles here, so there's 2 points in archives. Yeah, we definitely should have put the end of the line back. It had a chance of being relevant. So we're drawing Afshar and drawing it to boom. Sorry, what did they trash? They trashed the Afshar. Okay, so boom's on the top. So we have a hard-hitting news here. There's a boom in deck. So we just give them another hard-hitting news. Maybe we top deck an ice. Yeah, now they don't have credits. They're drawn up. Cool, okay. So we know it's a boom. So if we use this Atlas token, we actually can't get anything relevant with it. So I think we can draw once. This breaks lock. I kind of hate it. So we can fast advance this by installing and then pulling a piece with hand. So I think we're just gonna put this in server 3 and we're just gonna give 4 tags. So now if they don't win this turn, and again, they maybe can get in here, there's 1 point in archives. They can't afford Chestushka or Finality. They could Finality. And like there's a chance like they Stargate, see 2 agendas, trash the non-agenda, run, or I guess they need to run archives once. How many booms in bin? None. They know there's 1 in hand. There's none in the bin. There's just the 1 end of line of bin. So there's 1 boom in deck, 1 in HQ. So they know they can trash this one. If they do, we have another boom. They know they boom, they trash it. Yeah, that's okay. We have a second one. How's it going, Alvin? But like we're totally fine with this. Is that they trash that, we just pull the second boom. They know it as well. If you only run 2 tag punishment. The thing is we're on 2 boom and a single EO that end of line. Okay, now with the Stargate they can't win. Force Con, Mouseless Atlas. Force Con, let alone price deck, doesn't work on Stargate, so can't feel bad about it. If we had a second Atlas counter, this would have been a solved issue. So the Mouseless goes down, so it's Force Con into Atlas. They can eat the Force Con, trash it, steal the Atlas if they want to. They'll be on 3 points. Yeah, they're going to do that. All right, we don't pay snare. All right, it's fired again. Nice. Atlas. Okay, cool. All right, we have a boom, right? Funny enough, we could install this. Hold on. Wait, could we just win? Install this. What does Shipment from Vladislavsk even say? Yeah. Why no HHN into boom? Hey, try. We are. You might be behind on the YouTube VOD. Thanks for the game. Okay, so I just don't know the text because we haven't drawn it yet. But shipment from, I have a shipment from Vlad. What is it? Shipment from Vladislavsk. Okay, so this says 4 advancements on cards. So unfortunately, if we do install, pull this, Vlad advance. No, we can only score this. We're actually like close enough to fast advancing out, right? Because we have to score out 4 more points. So if we had, yeah, we can maybe do it. Yeah, money was tight. I was kicking myself for not shuffling back in the end of the line. Yeah, Wildcat turn 1 is super ugly, or it can be. Yeah, as soon as you have money, the decision is much harder, or more often what you want. HHN ends action phase. Oh, like in one turn? Yeah, yeah. So if that's what you're asking, last turn you have a HHN boom. Yeah, so hard hitting news is a terminal. So once you play it, your turn ends. So you can't do anything after it. Otherwise, the whole game would just be hard hitting news into boom. Mont, how's it going? Yeah. And then the forced con. Bad hits. Hey, Jessica, how's it going? The first connection has felt really good, right? Like really low effort on our part, pretty high output. It's fun. It's goofy. No one plays into it. Seems really good. Yeah, it's kind of hard. Like the bad pub thing is an issue. I wonder if also this should just be Enigma. I think we should make that change. Going well. Hope stream's been going good. It's been good. It's been a fun stream. I'm a bit under the weather though, so I'm a bit of a mess, but been better. Unfortunately, so do they. But I'll take it. Thanks again, mate. Cool. I want to be able to fast events. It's like, it's not even 11. Yeah, we want to get the fast events. Let's make some small changes. So we're on 2 shipment from Vlad's. We haven't drawn them. We've been very consistent at tagging, but runners have been like way more aggressive than I think is safe. So we're going to drop 2 Afshars. Let's play 1 Afshar, 1 Enigma. Just because the Afshar on HQ is legitimately good. Otherwise, what do we want to change? I don't think we want to change that much else. No, that seems fine. I went to see Pale Waves live last night. So great. Feeling bad today, though. I don't know what Pale Waves is. I take it's a band? Didn't even drink. Sorry you're feeling bad. Feeling bad as in like health or like emotional, like, oh, yeah, it's over. Corp. They're a very queer band. Oh, super cool. What kind of music? Feel better soon. Thank you, Mondegreen. Yeah, I don't know how I got sick. It's kind of hard to tell. But I went to a Flesh and Blood thing on Friday, a pre-release. It was the biggest pre-release in Canada, and I went undefeated. It was a huge success. I hadn't played Flesh and Blood in a while. Thanks. Best of luck. Have fun. Yeah, it was great. I had a really good time. I play Flesh and Blood like once in a year for pre-releases, and like limited is so fun because it's not about how much money you have, and it's a really genuinely good game. All right, we're playing against Smoke on 42. If this is like a Smoke deck like last week, it actually struggles to deal with sentries. This hand is a bit butt. Very queer band eyes emoji. Hell yeah. Illwise? Oh, I see. That's the beginning. My runner skills are prime stack. This should be a laugh. Oh, hey, no worries. No worries. All right, opening hand's actually good now. We got triple ice and money, which is good. So we can just ice up centrals. We're going to want our border control for the remote server. So we're going to do what we're going to do. So this is good on HQ because of the text. And then this is just a taxing enough ice that doesn't end the run. We'll put on R&D. Both of these face checks are relatively good. And our remote server can be magnet into border control to stack the 2 types of ice. I really recommend them. I can't describe music at all, but I love them. Their debut album is my favorite album ever. Pale Waves. Okay, I'll look into that. TBTF and Force Cons seemed cool. Too bad 2 agendas. Yeah, the other hand, yeah. But we have 3 Force Cons. They'll show up, right? I should look into Fab events here. I miss Limited. Yeah, Limited is really fun. The new set's like really cool for Limited so far. I don't know if it's going to be solved yet, but I had a great time. It's a rough face check. It's a pretty good one. We only res for 3. They take a tag on that damage, and we get the again 3. So that's good. Single axis taking a deep dive down. Okay. It's good to know. Sometimes that's the only multi-axis. If this is the Shaper deck list last week, I think it's 2 cards over. Alice off the top. Nice. Again, there was 9 and 42. So we knew there was some in there. They cleared the tag though and put down a daily cast. So they're in 0. If we top deck a Hardy News, game is over. But we're going to get a Rashida instead. Played also Netrunner on Wednesday. More startup. Managed to win both games despite being behind in both. What are you playing in startup? Startup is really fun right now. I think there are some balanced things like where startup is, you know, it's gonna get solved really quick. It's small card pool, but it's genuinely a really fun card pool. Stick there in Bandcamp, the one good music platform left. I listen to music on Spotify. I hope we keep our streak of ForceCon landing early. It'd be really good, right? Like this is the sort of economy differential you want to hit a ForceCon. But I think Rashida should open up. Simulchip early doesn't get much. Bit of a luxury install. Let's pop off here. Okay, so obviously scoring at hostile be good, but I don't think we have to rush it out considering what they're threatening. So I will actually put it in a remote server. So we'll do server 1. Double border control is cute, but I'm going to force the code gate into a barrier as much as this does get Penrosed or Buzzsawed, I guess, actually, Decklist of the Week. But the Decklist of the Week also wasn't running Simulchip. Maybe there's just 2 Simulchip as the Decklist of the Week. Maybe that's the 42. 2 Simulchip go. We'll find out what it is when they play more cards. I've been listening to a lot of Typhoon lately. I didn't realize they put out an album last year. I'm a big fan of Typhoon. I've been also listening to a lot of Cataldo, and I don't know exactly what Cataldo is, but I've been enjoying whatever Cataldo is on Spotify. Riel with Endurance and Isowak. More click taxing remote with a bit of damage. I've seen so little Isowak. I don't actually know what it does. I know what it does, but like not functionally how it plays. That's cool. My local group is still deep into Reboot. I built an Andy deck this week and it was awesome to play it again. I think Reboot's really cool. And I think Reboot like is a very good, also like on its own, it's good, but I think it's like a very good limited thing as well. And I miss Netrunner Limited. I think Netrunner Limited is sick. All right, we'll score that out. They get a mantle down, so definitely different from the Decklist of the Week now. I think we just want to do Doom server and just rush out on the server. Are we worried about central pressure? Nah, our ice is pretty good. I never managed to get it to fire. I tend to just win or lose the turn it would matter. Yeah, man, I don't like abilities like that. There's like, if it fires once, it's important. I don't know. I want my ability to be important every single turn. That's the Iswak issue with me. It's like, if this fires once, that's good enough. It's like, I don't know. That's what acids do. I guess that's what Andy does, but people liked Andy. All right, 3 types of ice, kind of. That's a really good server, right? Like a really good sentry on the outside that trashes things, decent Maganet, and then the board neutral to force the run back. All right, 10 credits, that's good money. But no program to boost the networker. All right, let's go find something to put in a remote server. Give me an Atlas. Rashida's good enough. I'm wary some H's. Yeah, those they might be around. I would never thought I would missing Andy on the table. Sunny, it's like, I don't know. She just allowed you to play consistent good Netrunner. Like she was the, oh, okay, cool. So my early game is gonna, you know, I'm gonna get to the interesting part of Netrunner sooner, as much as maybe the early game is interesting. But yeah, I don't know. She's boring. But yeah, I hear you. The gateway ID would be better with expensive ice, but new and shiny. I think there's a renaissance of restoring humanity coming back in the startup pool. A lot of people are playing it. Missing out on playing all these new cards though. I'll talk them into it eventually. There's some good stuff there. You can probably incorporate a fair few of them, but yeah, I guess they don't know the card pool. I've been playing Isowak Startup and my problem is that I'm literally incapable of playing Shell Game. That's the issue, is like I'm not excited to play Shell Game Isowak because I'm convinced it would just be straight better in PE because PE like has an ability that will more directly win the game. But yeah, no, playing Shell Game it has to be learned. But I do think the best way you can learn it is just like do ridiculous nonsense. Be like, would I ever do that? No, then exactly do that. Like the only way to do it is to be really brave and go out of your way to do nonsense. All right, this Trebuchet is a bit worse, but if they bypass it, they have to come back with border control. Sure. Nice. Lose 1 credit. Again, this could be Enigma, but it's fine. It's okay. So they can't simulchip anything, so this is just gonna fire. But they were like really scared of face checking into sentries until this came down, so yeah, it makes sense. Excuse me, I probably should mute. I don't know how loud that comes through. Yeah, totally. Yeah, so they can still boost here. The idea is that during a run, they can do it on approach. They have a paid ability window. They can just boost this. They spend the credit from smoke on the after image to either get a card draw for Nemeker or credit. So like it makes any run really good. They're gonna lose 2 here, but that's only 1 with bad pub. This is where we wish we had agendas. Like we have a remote server, and the longer the game goes, the more setup there'll be. We just need agendas. Okay, that's an agenda. Excuse me. Resing 2 trebuchets is like kind of reasonable to after image. It's actually a lot to boost into it, but I think we'll just do the border control. On server 1 might be a bit much. They seem to be on deep dive, but we haven't seen anything much else. So I think I'm going to put this on R&D. It's hard to imagine needing another trebuchet there. Maybe we will at some point, but maybe not today. I don't know. I don't know what we do with this hand. If we ever res this and it fires, it's really quite good for us. Practice shell game in person. The added joy of trying to poker face, manipulate face, and extra motivation. Yeah, playing in person like shell game is, well, it's just obviously such a different thing to be like, oh, the winning agenda's on the table. My last game I turned one my toastist out double Urtica and they just decided not to run. It's like, come on. Yeah, keep advancing it. That's all you have to do. Man, I wish I had a boat for all that ice. You got a turbine. You got a turbine. It's like just as good, right? All right, they're running here. We can afford to res this. They only have 1 click left, so we know the remote server is almost entirely safe if we trade a border control for it. But this mouseless will fire, which means they have a tag. They can still do their after image boost thing, and there's a chance that the Anacom, they'll get pinged for an event and they'll end up drawing. Yeah, they're checking 1 face down in archives. That might be worth it. All right, so they boosted. What did they go? They went for a card draw, right? Yeah. All right, they lost a Taka. That's a huge influence slot. That's 3 influence. So this looks like a more conventional stealth breaker suite. So I'm expecting Penrose more than Buzzsaw, let alone that they swore off Buzzsaw. Or sorry, Turbine. Why are they not getting Nemaker credits? I think they're drawing into something. Like Nemaker credits are good, but if they don't have their breakers, you know. Oh, sneaking away. Yeah, they're going for draw, that's why. Keep advancing or get to game point and then often start reconsider running them. Yeah, that's the thing in shell game is like if you just keep advancing, at some point they start to care. All right, we have to remember regulatory capture is a real thing. So we can either score this out and discard a card. I think we want to score this out. We can discard a card. So now we have access to hard-hitting news on tap behind a too big to fail, which is really good. I think the trebuchets are probably not great in this matchup. Like we have to res 2 of them. Actually, no, resing them just for bad pub is good enough because we have 3 regulatories. So I think end of the line is like, I'm going to feel bad throwing this out. Remind me that we threw that out in like 5 minutes when we absolutely resent ourselves. All right, Anacom gamble. Build your own Deuces Wild. It's even better, maybe. Maybe. So sad rip end of the line. I know. And you always, we'll bring it back with Spin Doctor no matter the board state. Okay, this is important too because they can actually threaten claw it. So we have to do like install action, advanced action. And I think even that's fair. For what it's worth, like scoring the second hostile, how good is it? It puts us to 4. So we still have to score 2 agendas unless we find the food, which we could pull. Or we have to score the last hostile. Kind of real seeing a Shaper not on boat after all this time. It's been a minute. I don't know. I like Anacom. I think Anacom's underrated. Obviously, boat's a bit good, but like Anacom is a really good console. But yeah, it's weird. They're like playing Netrunner with like servers and ice and shit. So we want a beta clot here. If they steal this, we're happy. Action. Action. How about this? How about now? Yeah, in theory, they have to clot here. As soon as you put the final advancement, you can score it. So they have no paid ability window that they can interact. But if they want to clot, they have to do it now. Or they could be worried that we're going to Audacity here if this is a 3-2. That's the real threat here, not so much the hostile. But if they crack this, we'll just take the bad pub. Cool. My friend used a kit deck that runs Super Corridor as a console. I have played Super Corridor in a deck list before. It's okay. It's not good. It's like 2 MU. Its ability doesn't fire consistently. But I don't even know it's the worst console. I don't think it is. All right, we're going to get some R&D. HQ pressure. Okay, cool. Shaper's doing all kind of things on the boat. I don't know if they're doing all kind of things. I feel like they're doing like two things. Deserved for not playing Clot. Yeah, and they also told us, which like that's friendly, but you always want to pretend you would be like, not now, thank you. But I think that's like sweaty edge game stuff. I do think Clot is probably worth playing competitively at least. There's a Penrose. This does break barriers the turn it comes down. Penrose doesn't do with Mouseless particularly well. It gets a strength relatively well, but it's still 4. Technically, you don't break all the serpentines. So like we're gonna have to ice this up sooner. But Penrose is down. We have access to hard hitting. Nah, fam, they're playing mind games. They have Clot. But yeah, you know what? I would respect the heck out of that. Fire out, of course. Oh, can they lose the overclock credits? No, because lose and spend are different, right? BC on R&D next turn, deep dive is set up. It's really hard for them to deep dive. But yeah, if we put a boarding control somewhere, it slows them down immensely. But like, I guess with bad pub, it's actually not that hard because each individual run gets so much cheaper. I think Super Corridor may be better than the Anarch Smash one, not Carnivore, the one that makes trashing cheaper. Yeah, Demolisher. I think it, actually, I don't even know if it is. I just don't think there's a good reason to play Demolisher. Okay, what are we doing? We need a boarding control on R&D. I think we just need to draw deeper into our deck. We need to force them in the remote server because it's hard for them to get a paperclip down in a cost-effective manner. So we'll do new remote, we'll res. This is a 4-2. So we'll just put in the remote server. We'll put this on R&D. I think they might have been scared of this server. Spend and pay are synonymous. I don't think they are. Oh, spend and pay are, yeah, not lose. Yeah, totally. The EO, the L, no, wait, the Kalana, we got the next one. That's what this spin doctor's job is. This spin doctor's job. You always have to have one on reserve for the end of the line. That's this fella's job until we draw a third one. Then we'll shove our bagger other 2 good cards. But no, I know it's there. Sure gamble, 9, draw a card. Yeah, I don't know. Like, try naming all the Shaper consoles in Standard. It's really, is it that difficult? Okay, hold on. What was Woo's console? Daredevil? Is Daredevil still legal? Fenris on HQ? Okay, that's good. Can still get it at instant speed. Yeah, no, we're good. Steve Grifter. That makes sense. This ability is costed at 1 influence. I think that's reasonable. And we're in. So what is it? Okay, so we have Mirror. I think Daredevil? I can't think of any other Shaper consoles. Mind's Eye. They can poke back 2 gambles. Yeah, now we have to get something good here. And I don't think the Trebuchet is going to cut it. We need a Bulwark. Oh my god, a Bulwark would be so good. Pantograph, yeah, Pantograph. NSG is easy. It's Pantograph, Anacom, Boat. But like, I feel like I don't know what the Katara one is. Would that be Daredevil? No. Is there a Shaper console in Katara? Hard hitting? That's scary. At least they have a sure gamble. They're going to have more money than us. There's a chance that we will tactically hard hitting news just so that we can too big to fail next turn. Because we just want bad pub. Beth, okay. Mad respect. Little Ava Pale Waves is great. I'm gonna check out Pale Wave. Jackson, how's it going? Oh, hey, there's a Bulwark. So we need this on R&D. Or sorry, on HQ. All right, we'll slow roll. Again, I think it's hard for them to contest remote server as much as they have 5 clicks. Value HHN sense better with Beth out. Yeah, it's still really hard though, because then we can't contest it. They can't res the remote server. And they're very likely to have misdirection in this list. If they're not on Clot, I still think they're on misdirection. So like we end up trading a lot of money and they trade like, I think 5 if they run less than that. Wait, there's no Shaper in console in Katara for real? There's 7 Shaper consoles like in Standard right now. What? 7? Okay, so okay, we're counting Boat, I take it. So Boat, this is good for us. We're just gonna res everything. Mirror, Daredevil, Super Corridor. Oh, Super Corridor is Null Signal. I forgot about that one too. Whoa, okay, I think we have all of them. 6 without Boat. Okay. So this is really ugly because they have to paperclip this and they had to go through it twice. Unfortunately, everything else behind this is cheap, but they're actually just like gonna straight up run out of stealth credits. I think we res the Trebuchet because we can recover with too big to fail. And it's hard for them to like get border control through the trebuchet again. Okay, so we know them. Mirror, Daredevil, Super Corridor, Onicom, Endurance, Mind's Eye, and whichever one I forgot. Okay, so this, they have exactly 3 stealth credits. This drops us to 7. Oh no, it drops us to 10. Okay, so that's more bad pub. They don't get it this run. They get it at the beginning of next run. Mind you, this is an overclock run. It's right behind my head. So they had 4 extra, or technically 5 credits, but 4 extra cards for this run. And they'll draw a card. Now the magnet is actually perfectly evil because it is 3 strength, which requires 1 stealth here. They haven't spent a lot of money yet. I'll be honest. They haven't. They just haven't spent a lot of money. Just like lose and win are synonymous in the grand scheme of things. There's no losers or winners. They're just players with outcomes or whatever. Okay, the magnet's good. So now they're reduced to a single stealth credit. Ah. They've spent so little of their actual money out of pocket. So if we want to res this border control, it'll put us on 3 credits. F it. That's a remote server. That one's a good one. And then we can score this out as a 3-2 next turn and also too big to fail. In theory, you do it in the other order. I figured out the optimal ordering of this interaction. Do we want to get rid of the front or the back? I don't think it matters in Shaper. I think the back, because this is a worse face check. Go. They have 1 stealth credit. They can't come back. We can TBTF either way to make the agenda cheaper. Yeah. No, we do it first. And then at that point, we're like, we can pull the last Atlas, right? And we know they're not on Clot. So with 10 credits, can they get through this, right? It's not so much the money. It's like, this is 2 stealth credits and this is 2 stealth credits. They have 2 stealth credits. Cold read, yeah, I know. If they like slap down a mantle or a cold read, they could like refresh their mantle and maybe they could do it. I still think they're 1 stealth credit short if they refresh their mantle by like trashing mantle. But no, they installed a program, so they can't even like simul-chip mantle. Yeah, nobody plays cold read. Remember at Worlds when there was like cold read Cabin SOU stealth decks for like 2 weeks? Yeah, I think you need those stealths. Yeah, we talked about this last week, and I don't think this is a bad deck. This is probably a really good smoke deck. But like you see, this deck has a higher requirement on stealth because they have 2 stealth breakers. So things are taxed out a bit harder. All right. That is such a cool interaction. We get a click left. We get a click left. Put it in the remote server so we can get the end of the line back. Just pull hostile. Yeah, 100% we'll pull hostile next turn. And we're pretty sure they're not on Clot. Unless it's like such a good mind game. But this forces them to do something, and then we can always pull back our end of the line before the game's over. Because we said we would. We can also just pull the red capture too, right? It's a 2-2. It gets us to 8 points, which is better for your strength of schedule. I'm kidding. Actually, if you think that's how tournaments work, I probably should not be saying that's how tournaments work. Tournaments don't care about how many points you have. Pull the regulatory for style points? Yeah, Terrence, you know. How's it going, by the way? 4 bad pub goes pretty far. There's 4 free stealth credits every run too. So it's like 8 free credits for running. Isn't that buck wild? Did we do this to ourselves? Yeah, we did do this to ourselves. But imagine last click, they run R&D and hit a, what's it called? A forced connection. Imagine last click, run R&D, break mouseless for 3, hit forced connection. We dump all our money. Atlas for boom, win. This is 1 stealth credit. I said it was 2 stealth credits last turn. It was only 1. Because the break doesn't require stealth. It's only the boost that requires stealth. Okay. Do we res it? I don't think we res it. I think our agenda is safer in R&D than in HQ. Pop the border control. Yeah, that's twisted. I like that. I'm into that. That's really, really good. I'm not that sort of BM player, but you're not wrong. That seems like the best thing to do. Like, we don't need this remote server until they pull Clot. But now they're considering it. Now we've taxed out their stealth. They have 2 stealth, so they can still bypass the trebuchet, but they have to figure out how to deal with the magnet. Now, because they haven't trashed the program yet, they can like cycle their mantle if they want to. Sorry, I'm a mess. Wait until it turns out the claw was a mind game. I know, I'd be like very excited if it was a mind game. They think this might be in the remote though. I need to blow my nose, I think. Give me 1 second. All right, we got it. Oh, she's not happy about it. Say hi. Say hi. Okay. All right, that should be it. Oh, we lost connection, so I don't think it is it. Hey Jen, how's it going? Okay, so we can be I think we're just gonna go for the regulatory capture. Tortoise shells. Yeah, she's a calico. I stood up and got away from and she knows that like at some point in this evening, I stand up and leave the desk, and that is when it's the end of the stream. So she comes to hang out. So I think I kind of tripped her off that she thinks the stream ended. We lost connection. No, we forced connection. Good game. That border control. Oh. Did I into it? What have I walked into? Hey, Schmendrix. Yeah, I think stealth list is really reasonable. Like, it deals with some of the best dice in the format, like very, very, very well. The question is, how much pressure can it put on, as much as it has like a really just well-oiled value machine. Like in so many matchups, they're running HQ for like next to free, and then they get back an event, they play the event, they draw a card. The only thing that I haven't seen is a lot of these smoke decks are like playing no multi-axis, barring like 2 deep dive, which I'm not convinced is enough. I feel like you need a way to be able to, I'm going to pressure R&D now. I'm really falling apart. Excuse me. I'm pretty sure they're typing. Sometimes it just kind of does this. So we're going to hang out for just a minute more to see if they are typing. How's everyone's evening doing? Or maybe it's the morning at this point. Maybe it's Friday. I've been a bit sick all week. I thought I'd feel better by now. We're doing okay. Thanks for the game, eh? I don't think they're typing. Like, there's no way they're typing this long. That's what I feared. We lost connection. That's the worst. Oh, they got it. Probably should have tried to run the remote early to see what was in there. Okay, we're back. Hey. Sorry, lost connection. Yeah, it's tricky. You need the 2 stealth for the trebuchet. Yeah, cool. That was a matchup in which they respected hard hitting news, but like it obviously wasn't relevant. But we had it in our pocket. Like it's the sort of thing that keeps them in check, where they don't go as aggressively as they, might imagine. Busy week, nice to catch live notification. Hey, yeah. Hopefully your week's okay. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Taka was like kind of a big card for a lot of these stealth decks. I wasn't a big fan of it. I think like, I don't know how hard it is to generate enough stealth credits, but Taka is like, infinite stealth credits to some extent. Is another mantle possible? Maybe. You don't have as much MU as you did with endurance. Oh, cheers. Good turn. All right, let's force a connection. I'm the worst at managing Taka. So I feel like I would be totally fine if the companions left standard. I just don't like what they do. I don't think they're very interesting. Just a credit a turn for like no effort. I don't know. It's just Rizeki, right? How messed up would they be if all of the companions ran away if you ended the turn with 1 credit on them? Like if they were super needy. I actually win by Taka, so worst card 0 out of 10. Oh, sorry to hear. At least it was trashed. Taka inexplicably not working with hardware upsets me. Oh, it says only specifically for your programs, huh? Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the anarch part of like, you know, you have to manage them. They're a bit disruptive, like, you know, nothing in moderation. I feel like if the companions trash themselves at the end of your turn with 1 or tag or whatever it is, I think that'd be much more interesting. Yeah, it's more interesting to Zeki, right? Like you have to hang out with your companions or they're gonna run away. All right, 45 Isla. Maybe it's World Tree. I don't know. Could be. Otherwise, Isla is just another shaper identity. You have this offset out of play area. They can click to draw. Could be Apocalypse. Maybe 2 would be a fair point. Yeah, 3 is like a bit generous. I think 1 is like ridiculous, but I think ridiculous is interesting. Like I just want to see, like, just push it in far in one direction, see how fun it is. Opening hand, not great. That's better. That's much better. I have a thing kind of like that with a few cards. It's not fun. Sorry to hear. All the X's that are called like Buzzsaw and K2CP Terrifying. I joke though. Sorry about that. Okay, too big to fail. We have big money. Yeah, Nana thinks I stood up to blow my nose, and Nana thinks the stream's over, so she's like in full play mode. She hasn't figured it out. Okay, so we committed to this line sooner than we should have, because what are we icing this up with? I think a mouseless on the remote server is like mediocre, but I think we're just gonna do the bulwark. The face check on the bulwark is like kind of awful, but like at least we gotta do that. I like that they get a credit on an agenda because the runner plans for things, then steals an agenda, gets screwed up, and it's fun. That is like the one interaction I think is like most often missed when playing in person. Because it's like such a weird subtlety of the cards that like there's already so much going on. That little extra amount, totally everyone forgets. But I think that's the part that does make them difficult. And if they had a lower threshold, it'd be a bit more interesting. Can the joke XB character be Buzzsaw forever? Ooh, artist, cool. Okay, that came down off of Isla. So this is probably with 2 connections on turn 1. I'm reckoning that this is a Palace Cafe deck. So I'm not sure what exactly that means, but this for click to draw to install to 2, it's hard for this to be a good economy card. Yeah, Kate's in the building. We've rebuilt it. Okay, how fast can we go? I think we want to go pretty fast. Oh, above the law is going to be so disgusting. Oh God, I feel bad about this. We're going to put it above the law. Oh, that's going to be really gross when we're going to above the law, Kate. Oh, no, sorry. Is this your greedy resource engine? Imagine the Paula's comes down, they put like birds on it and stuff. Stewing ABL for Paula? Yeah, I know. Like maybe we can sit on this because we're sure it's a Paula deck. But like I'm just gonna blow up Kate. They didn't even wait. They didn't click Kate. They clicked for credit. No, they did click Kate. Excuse me. This card lets you click for 2. That's honestly not great for a card that costs 4. So they spent a click to draw this, 4 credits to install it, and then they got 2 clicks for 4 credits. So they basically spent 4 clicks to get no money from this. 4 clicks for 0. Now, admittedly, if you trash most resources, the value proposition goes down pretty sharply. But like, yeah, Kate is like, you need to go way into the future for this to be reasonable. Specifically, also when you draw it off, like that's a weird thing. But drawing this off of the NV RAM, the outside of the thing, like it doesn't draw through your deck. So you're specifically making every card in there 1 click less efficient, which like doesn't help these engines, right? Discounts on installs? Yeah, but only if it's a hardware or programs. They didn't do any. So yeah, it's still hard. And also like, I don't know, it's always been the shaper problem too, is like not often do shapers want to install from hand classically. Campaign to allow the companions to make you lose a credit on steal instead. I want the companions to steal from you. I guess that's what Taka does, right? We should have let them keep their artists so they keep clicking instead of doing better things. It only gets worse. Did they DC because we trashed their artist? Did they leave? I think they might have left because we trashed Kate. If you use Kate every turn, takes 3 turns to break par. Oh, no, no worries. The thing is, like, par is not good, right? Like, people didn't play Armitage. Armitage is 1 for a click to click for 2. Is it Taka that gives you tag? Yeah, Taka gives you tag. Taka snitches. Fuemo breaks things. Fueno's expensive. End of companion list. Yeah, we definitely put them in a tough spot, but they have 9 credits. They can do whatever they want. Play a Proco. Your pet cops are not playing with them enough. Maddie, do you know where Nana is? Oh, she's in bed now. Turbine. Cold install turbine SMC. Let's go. Creative commission. Okay, cool. So there is a chance they're on Clot. If they use the SMC for Clot, we're happy. I feel like more people should have played Armitage. Armitage in hindsight, like, is way better than it looks. How about now? Like, I think Armitage is very reasonable. It's like, it was in a lot of decks better than Caddy, and people only played Caddy. Armitage and Reboot's legit, 16 credits total. Oh, whoa, I didn't know that. I don't know. I was playing Limited, and like, we started with 2 Armitage as like cards you can play in any deck, I think. And I know I played against somebody who didn't play the Armitages, and then instead played Trimorph Contact. Oh, they just emptied their NVRAM. Right? Like, Trimorph Contact is not better than Armitage. It is better than Caddy. It's because people were cowards. I think all of that is correct. Okay, DZ comes down. They emptied their NVRAM. They have 2 bad pub. R&D is going to be a problem at some point. We have 2 bad pubs, so this is a 4-2. That's like reasonable, right? Server 1, advance. Getting border control here is fine. Border control and R&D is reasonable. I think the server, like, it's hard to make it better, as much as obviously border control does make it better. We could just hard-hitting news them, honestly. How much would it cost us? It would cost us 3 plus 4. It would cost us 7, dropping us to like 16. Yeah, okay. When in Rome. I've killed my friend with Trimorph. Very fun card. I have died to my own Trimorph too. It is a very fun card, but like, it's not better than Armitage. Sometimes it happens. How many tags? Sad. Tell me about it. No boost? No, we boosted 4. Okay. Hard-hitting news is definitely a pain point, and this is like, you know, the sort of slow value over time deck, and then you make one run and you lose the game. How it feels like, obviously, is very bad. I feel like hard-hitting news probably should have had, I don't know, I feel like this conversation comes up a lot, but I'm fascinated that hard-hitting news would have scaling based off of how many agenda points you have or they have, or have the clause that it can only trigger or only gives tags equal to like the amount of agendas in their score area, something like that. Because I think getting blown out early game with hard-hitting news is no fun, but having it to be a reasonable, interesting piece into the mid to late game, really quite cool. Even if this had simply the text on like, what's a complete image? They can only play it when there's 3 points in their score area, something like that, right? Because like, this is the sort of blowout that makes people hate casual Netrunner, where it's like, oh, I ran on turn 3. Shit. So taking this long mean we descon or no misdirection? No. Maybe no no misdirection. Yeah, they're just cleaning the tags. Stream sometimes doesn't pick up the interface. Oh yeah, sorry. Oh, very, very, very true. Any drop down menu does not show up on the stream. So I did choose the number and I did pay money into it. Yeah. Even just successful run, a successful run doesn't change much. The amount of times a hard-hitting news fires on an unsuccessful run is like, definitely makes the card worse, but I don't think it's actually meaningful. All right. End the line doesn't get there. Do we tempo them? No, I think we just try and win. So you're saying HHN is Sandberg tier? No, Sandberg is worse because like Sandberg encourages you to play like long drawn out Netrunner that like eventually gets to a board state that nobody enjoys. This is more like, okay, I'm going to feed them agenda. Like you take risks on it and do cool stuff. Oh, double Plongi. Will I purge? Will he purge? Honestly, I'd like to see more effects like that based on the number of agendas or points. Yeah, I know. I do think there's a very cool way to scale abilities into the mid to late game, as opposed to having things blow you out on turn 1. Right? Like, I think that's one of my things is like right now in NBN with things like AR enhanced security or hard-hitting news turn 1, like there's so many things where like turn 1, the game is not decided. I just wish that like AR enhanced security couldn't be scored at turn 1. Because it's one of the things like if you don't run, you can lose. And if you run, you can also lose. I just don't like that the game can be decided on turn 1. I'm like tempted to purge for obvious reasons. I just don't think it's reasonable. I think we just need to draw an ice or an agenda. Like, what are they going to do with that? Punitive feels cheap sometimes. 5-0 feels bad. R&D's wide open. Come on in. Yeah, punitive hasn't existed for a while. Yeah, there you go. Hey! Take some more tags. Force connection. No boost trace. It's funny. We've said we pay 4 every time. It's been a while that we haven't tried to do it. Turntable nearprint win. Turntable is so poisonous for the game. I think it's like on tier with Mad Dash. It's like the one card you can put in your deck that increases your win rate, or basically says runners will not play the cool agendas in the game. As much as I don't like 5-3s in Netrunner, tune in for whenever I put out my video talking about why a lot of 5-3s in the game is bad. GG? Maybe, but not necessarily. Can they Pelongi to change it and then Pelongi back? Yes. No, because it doesn't replace, it gains. So you can't un-Pelongi something, you can just double Pelongi. I don't want to boom them because then they'll feel upset about boom, but like I wish we had fast events there. Because fast events could have done it. Cool. Whereas a lot of agendas are only truly scary when it's the 3rd or 4th. I see you played Wayland. Yes. Just being a tidy runner. Yeah. No Hail Mary HQ run to find the boom. I think they auto. Like at that point, if they did run the mouseless, they could have trashed the boom and they might have been okay. They have bad publicity, right? Like, so they can face check. It's obviously really difficult. Even if the mouseless fires, I think there was a chance to end the line when it got them. But yeah, they definitely should have, in theory, tried something on the last turn. I don't know if there's any draw that saves them. So yeah, for sure. But like, I get it. Nobody likes getting hard news. Nobody likes losing their. This was a Nob Kari Pelongi deck with Chameleon. Like this was definitely a Palace Cafe deck that we like absolutely got shut down on turn 3 because of the 1-0 in the deck. Like I get it. I tilt. Not that we know they tilt. I would tilt. I'll say it. I played Apex today. I know how to tilt. I figured it out. Or rather, each gets more scary as others are scored. Yeah. Oh, Jen, did you just miss it? I don't know if you were looking for a game. Yeah, I think you just got in and got out. This is the first time we've drawn this card in our deck. We have 2 of. We haven't seen one in like 4 games. They've been fast games though. All right, we're playing against Zaya. Could be tag me. If that's obviously a problem for us. We have an early Magnet Rashida border control, but we can only afford to res one of them. We can mulligan into better, but we can also mulligan into worse. Turntable, I'm thinking more about a way to interact with example scored Ares. Wait, what do you mean a scored Ares? Scored Ares? Like, doesn't it just fire? Like a scored Atlas with counters? I feel like we're on game 5. We might be. Yeah, that sounds all right. We had a lot of fast ones though, like Adam turn 3 stuff. I think we can do worse than this, but I feel like we can probably do better than this. I think we're very likely to top deck Hostile or Hedge Fund or Above the Law. So our economy shouldn't be that bad on a very reasonable top deck. That's not it, but whatever. Okay, so this is don't get diversioned. If Zaya's tag me, counter surveillance, this is good to have on R&D and HQ. We obviously want one on the remote server. It's just hard to protect everything. So at least if it's hard because it's hard here to do everything, right? Like we want to get this down and that down. I think if we click to 2, they might respect Trebuchet, but you face check Trebuchet without anything installed relatively often. I think we click 2 here. I'm just going to push it. Okay, I think this play is bad because we can't afford to res both of them. If they res HQ, we can probably let them in. If they jailbreak, I'm disgusting. If they jailbreak, so be it. Like, yeah, that happens. Okay, that sucked. We wanted to draw that, but they didn't hit a force con, which would have been pretty good. But yeah, now they can contest both of these, and I think they largely should. There's not a lot of punishment besides mouseless, which mouseless on a remote server doesn't happen that consistently. Admittedly, maybe we have an ugly start because we spent a while. Like, this is the worst case. Oh, actually, no, this is fine. They have no clicks left. So here we get a fire border control and also get a Rashida. I forgot that was a double, so we'd be fine. But if they could do that and then, like, if they did that click 1 and then trash a Rashida, that's way worse for us. All right, like, oh, now we're out of it. Okay, so we have Afshar. So we're just gonna like keep Zaya out. So HQ. Mainly we need ice on the remote server, but this is good enough. Okay, so we don't know if it's tag me yet. Pretty sure when we see Zaya, it's either tag me or like coffee and dolls. The discard will probably tell us something. Paperclip, Docklands, not telling us anything, but I do think tag me. Okay, let's force him to a remote server. Also, if they go tag, like the fact that we have shipment from Vlad is actually the most important thing here. Because people aren't double, like people are playing around boom and they're going to play around boom. So we just want to go long enough that they do go tag me, that we can convert into fast advance more so that we can try and kill them. Because trying to kill them won't work. How much money do we have? 7? Good enough. There's a chance they'll hit this and then not trash it because it's a way to get tags, but that's fine. Because we have a spin doctor on the table and double shipment. Okay, this is interesting. If we res the mouse, we go down to 6. I'm going to do it. Does anyone play Conduit? I wanted that card to be so much better. I think people can and should be. I don't think there's a lot of Cyberdex Fire Suite or sorry, Mavirus anymore. Yeah, it's tag me. We hit an Obelisk. That's a good hit. So we can not res the border control. They'll get a credit. We can res this to go down to 1. I don't think we want to go to 1. I think they hit the Force Con. And I don't think we boost into this because I think they want the tags. Yeah. Makes sense. They're a tag me deck. So now they have to worry about boom because we trashed their Obelisk. So Obelisk gives them hand size equal to the amount of tags they have or additional hand size. So here they can just die to boom on the spot. We have to top deck 2 and 35. That ain't it. We could also install shipment. That's kind of really cool. And for it, I think if we do that, that actually is probably worth doing. Let's just get this brick out of our hand. This is really goofy. Cool. Not what you want to see when you go tag me. Yeah. Yeah, I think Conduit's not bad. And I think a lot of the Shaper decks that can run cheaply, like probably should consider it. Anarch generally playing Stargate because you have better control over a lot of more matchups. Jailbreak HQ, this is totally fine. But they have a lot of money. But yeah, I wanted to get that played before we can shuffle it back with Spin Doctor. And next turn we can like too big to fail here. They should trash the too big to fail if they see it. Considering popping the border control, we get punished 2 out of 3 times. Damn. Okay, we're lucky. That's obviously the card they want to trash. I've never seen Vlad play. That was cool. Yeah, it's really good. Amina's down too, so code gates are going to be a liability. So this magnet is not worth rezzing. We actually can't score this out. We need bad publicity. Don't worry, we'll fix that. Okay, so we need it too big to fail. We need to get the bulwark here because if they face check into bulwark, it's pretty bad. So we're gonna hit that for sure. I think we have to. I mean, Afshar is sick against Amina because they can't break all the subroutines. So I think we draw once. Tempo end a line. Do we tempo end a line? No, I think we have to get rid of this. And as soon as we get bad publicity, we can like deal that. Yeah, I think R&D ice is reasonable, right? Like we can't res the magnet into Amina. They break it for bad pub eventually and we lose 1. But like tempo end a line is reasonable. Docklands for HQ, that's cool. Oh, that's really good. Okay. So we're gonna res the Afshar. This actually does cost the money and we probably want to border control this. I do think we probably border control this. Like it's worth 9 credits plus 2 more credits. Tempo end a line, I hate it. Yeah, that's why we put it in the deck. So we're going to force them through and then we're going to, yeah, we have to border control this. That's way too much money. Cool. I thought we'd do a diversion, but this honestly is like way more money. Oh, okay. Cool. Cool. Good game. It's a game. That epic can't be. Yeah. On the single net damage. That was wild. The FA is a good find against Tag Me for sure. Yeah, they lost a single Obelisk to the net damage, which is obviously like the worst card to lose and probably what they had, I think 5 cards, because that's the one thing that they can play around boom. And then also draw cards off of all their nonsense. Yeah, well, hey, cheers. Catch your hand. Yeah, fast advancing this is like obviously the worst agenda. We can't fast advance this one yet, but we want to fast advance an Atlas because once we fast advance an Atlas, we have 2 Atlas counters if we like really work on it, and then we can pull back other shipment from Vlad grids, let alone boom and a line, stuff like that. So like we actually can do is say we fast advance an Atlas instead of this. That means we can pull boom into end of line. So we actually can do what is it? 11 damage on a single turn, which is hard for them to out tag that. Let's do one more. These are fast. Yeah, that was the first game that we draw into. Hey, Kalana, you made it. Perfect. Sorry, Jen. I forgot. All right, Hoshiko. Gonna be probably Reg Anarch. Hey, hey. Thanks, you too. So opening hand. It has a force connection. I like that. It has 2 ice, and we want to ice up centrals relatively well. Border controls for our remote server, but like we don't have anything on tempo. Like a hostile would be okay. I think we can do better than this, but we can also do a lot worse. That's definitely better. Magnet for remote server is like very, very legit. Oh, okay, cool. Let's try and sneak in more than anything. Don't worry, 0 malting. Okay, cool, cool. Can't tell if sarcastic. Very good, very good. So we'll do new remote. We'll get this on the remote server. It's hard for them to contest an early Rashida, and we'll just put this on HQ, which is pretty soft right now. R&D is wide open, dirty laundry. I think they're going to have more money than us after turn 1. It's pretty hard to not do that in Anarch. And I think if the Anarch goes slow and just plays like, oh, hit a force connection here, just plays slow and like gets liberated down, I think that's bad for us. Slash gen. I'm like really unfamiliar with a lot of the tone markers. I think I have to figure out how those work. Okay, cool. So Paladin Daily Cast. This is really bad into hard-hitting news. I think this is going to be a short one because we have hard-hitting news and they're on 3 credits after the Hoshika flip. They're going to be on 2 credits next turn, 4 credits with Daily Cast. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Gen is genuine. Okay. I'm going to Google this at some point because I know they're super useful. It's either do we put the Rashida or are we too big to fail? I think the Rashida is more important because we need to draw into our win condition. And this we don't. Well, we boost 1. My bad. Okay. Yeah, it's really hard to be that aggressive, right? Because especially when a Rashida goes off, the chance of us just having it is pretty high. Moshing, hitting a steel skin for draw 5, Botulus, MK Ultra, clearing 2 tags, clearing all but 1 tag. Enough cards in hand, breaker check, pretty good actually. Really good recovery there, but we'll take it. That was worse for them than for us. Okay, so we need to get some tags. Let's start playing with our cards. So we can do Force Connection Atlas. We can do Too Big to Fail. I think that's good as much as we want the Atlas with the counter. I think that's still pretty good. We can also like, we probably should play the turn out first. I think we do Atlas. I don't think we advance the Atlas. Actually, we probably advance the Atlas. Just get some money. We'll push it next turn. Next turn, we can either score it out if we're really pressured, or we can do Enigma advance. Admittedly, stacking 2 code gates is a bit rough, but like, can't really botchless this one. Can't botchless the Enigma very easily. And it's Black Orchestra is expensive in general, as much as there's one bad pub. But now face checking is really hard because of Trebuchet, and let alone Bulwark, kind of. Force Connection, yeah, it's an upgrade. I think that's my favorite thing about it is it is legitimately an upgrade. So like, it's just not Snare, it's Snare that sneaks on top of stuff. I don't know. I like this card. I might as well res the Mouseless. 117 is going to be broken. Probably the tag. There's 2 and 5 for this run to be good. But again, hard-hitting news. We have 3. They broke the net image. They're taking the tag. I'm surprised. I wonder what's in their hand that they don't want to take that. Oh, they hit the red capture. Shit. Fumble gets a credit too, so even better. Removing the tag. I feel like the tag is probably better than the card. But again, we don't know what the hand is. All right, we can just jam at the hostile. It's relatively safe now. We'll just jam at the hostile. I do that with Vladgrid and Scion so cheap. Yeah, no, those 2 together are really good. It's just kind of hard. Like the thing with Scion is once you need the Vladgrid, you have to trash the Scion and then it's naked for a bit. Immediately you you saved it for the moment it was necessary. But yeah, you just let this go. They keep the tag. We could have had a huge Atlas. Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, yeah. And then we'd actually be able to do the thing we wanted to do, which is fast advance Atlas. So we have a Trebuchet there. We have a Maganet here. If they ever run server 1-2, we fix our HQ ice, which is great. But yeah, I do think we're going to just double ice advance and then we'll see what our last click is there. 22-4 though. No harding news, no tag. Oh, we could have actually trashed Puemo. I forgot. Simul chip. Fermenter. Okay. So that'll fix the botchless issue. Oh, that's exactly what we wanted. I'm going to go double advance. Feeling pretty good about this one. And with 2 advancements, I don't know. Is this card, mind you, better than Economic Warfare? I think you could argue that it's not, but I think you could argue that it's way more fun. Money is also counter to Force Connection. Yeah, bad pub is a counter to Force Connection. Sure gamble. They're up on 9. Trebuchet could hit relatively well. Bulwark will hit very quite well. And HQ is open. But yeah, we need to go fast enough. All right, I think we get a credit. They get an axis. And a flip. Which is good. Yeah, it's definitely way more fun. It's like so much fun when the runner tells you, oh, by the way, on R&D, like you have to do your thing. Feels good. Now, I don't know if this HQ run is great, right? Like we have a safe remote server. So if we had an agenda, it'd probably be in there. Obviously, it looked like we top decked the hostile last turn. But like the access on HQ here doesn't seem very valuable. Admittedly, it's like really, really cheap and you get the Hoshiko flip. I'm going to go for the full thing. Okay, so with this, we get a hard-hitting news. I don't think it's possible for the runners to outboost the outfit. I think we've played at least 1 or 2 games. Oh, I almost spilled so much water in which the runner had more money than us for a moment. Especially during a run, right? Like that's the time where they have the most money. Like we have to res this for 7. Again? Again? Remember when we played Apex? 1 in every 2 card is an economy card. That's what Netrunner looks like. 1 in every 2 cards. All right, flipping back and forth, getting the most value. All right, let's find something for the remote server. And mainly we actually could just use this. Yeah, Crisium. Come at me. Atlas could find us 2 red capture if we add more bad pub. Yeah, I just want to get the bad pub out and then we just start red capturing out. But we're going to need, 2 more bad pub. And at that point, we can win off this Atlas. Like Atlas with 2 counters is really scary as long as we can get our ice resed or what's it called? Hostiles, let alone 2 bigs. Probably should mute the microphone, Andre. Probably should have figured that one out by now. Purging is kind of interesting, but it's a bit too slow for how fast we're going. But like, they're going to have a lot more money than we think they're going to have. This is always nice and rude. Spin Doctor. I'm going to use a Spin Doctor because I want the hard-hitting news back, and the Rashida seems more reasonable. Being sick is the worst. There's, a lot of better things than it. I'm like not very sick. Like it could be worse. Oh, that's a hippo. Okay, that's fine. Mouseless is safe. They have breakers though. The thing is like it's really expensive to use paperclip, let alone MK Ultra, but they will tear down on Bulwark when it comes to it. The Simon might mean they're running Clot right now. No, I think it's just for Fermenter. That's wild. I'd be very surprised if they were on Clot. Just because it's hard for this deck to get Clot. I think it's possible, but it would not be my first. Right? Like it's like we'd see it coming, right? Unless they like catch upon it like absolute freaks. Just rip through their deck, top 6, Clot, let's go. Imp, oh, that's good, that's good. I think they're trying to imp this Crisium. Oh, we're gonna lose this Mouseless to Botulus, that's really cool. We're just gonna get the Enigma there though. Are you ready to trace, what is it, trace 7? You ready? Which one are they gonna access first? Yeah, I'm surprised they play Caldera. Like it's just the Mouseless, right? Border control, imp it, come on. Okay, trace 9. So I'm going to add, we have to get this to 9. So that means I've done the math. It'll be 7. So this is our 7 cost snare. 2 tags. Okay, clear the tags. Go ahead. I'll pull a hard-hitting news. I forgot we had a Rashid in here. That's also pretty good. Nice. It did what we wanted to do. This is actually a bit dodgy because we draw into too many agendas. What's up? Sorry. Oh, do it up. What are they simul chipping for? We can, do you want to, yeah, they wanted to simul chip that turn because they trashed the Botulus to get another Botulus, I reckon. They're just gonna do it manually. Yeah, they're gonna reposition Botulus. It's on a Trebuchet. That's like good. Cool. Yeah, all good. All right, we're gonna have a lot of cards. We didn't draw into hard-hitting news. We have a boom, which is nice. So we'll put this in server 1 because that seems reasonable. We're gonna pull a hard-hitting news from hand. So I think we're gonna put a Bulwark here on HQ. Yeah, we need to put something big on HQ. And then we'll just pull a hard-hitting news. And we'll just hard-hitting news. They have a link, so we have to do 6. Save the Atlas counter for red capture. I think we're just going to try and win. We're going to use this Atlas counter if they don't clear the tags. Not the boom, but to fast advance of food. That's what we're going to do. Because we're going to FA food. Throw out the border control. Yeah, I'm going to throw out the border control. They don't have an Enigma breaker yet. Right, like if they don't clear the 4 tags, obviously they died to boom. But if they don't clear 2 tags, well, I guess there's 2 ways they die. But if they run HQ, trash the boom, feel good about it, we still have an option. In fact, we can like pull an Atlas, install the Atlas, and then like shipment. Ah, you want to clear all the tags, I see. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. That seemed like the play. That seemed like the play. Let's be honest. Okay, so we're just gonna get to game point off hostile. All right, just forking the runner. Just forking them. That's the second hard-hitting news that they cleared. GG. Oh, you can do this. So they're saying GG, but like they have to find the last hostile. It's totally possible with 13 cards on Imp. Like they can see some cards on R&D. Trebuchet is not going to do anything against the Bodulus. Yeah, I believe. But like if they steal the last hostile, we actually have an ugly game. Admittedly, if they res a Trebuchet, we can regulatory capture win. So it's actually, yeah, no, it's kind of hard. So we res this anyways for the bad pub. But yeah, they can get to this Trebuchet twice. 3 times if they try really hard. Try to get 2 BP. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking. Now we're on 4 bad pubs, so the regulatory capture also wins. So they have to imp no matter what it is. So that's our last border control. Now they can go back. They have to boost the trace, which I think they're pretty happy to do. We're unfortunately 1 credit short of Bulwark, so they can actually like start smashing HQ, but that's not where it is. They do get that value DreamNet. Well, they have so much money. They just cleared tags. Admittedly, it was all that Fermenter, but like you see how nonsense Fermenter is. Trace with 4 bad pip. Yeah, it is really ugly. Like we're not going to boost into it. I don't think they MK Ultra this. I think they just break this for the trace. It's so much cheaper than breaking it. And like even if we fire the trace, it, like nothing happens, right? That makes sense. The last turn, spent 9, whatever. All right. So I'm not going to pull the hostile. I'm going to pull the regulatory capture because that's so much cooler. Good game. This deck is doing exactly what it says on the tin. Forced connection is like the dubious include, but it's actually like getting us, it's allowing us to do things. Like it is a very relevant trade of credits in our advantage. Like we're always spending less than they are and they're spending time. Yeah. Yeah, it can go quick. But I've been having some good mulls. Yeah, we've been having really good hands. I don't know if the deck is very consistently good. But it's been going fast. And like this ice is so hard to face check into. Like it's not obvious because we're not playing the runner, but so many times when I'm playing against this sort of deck, I'm like, I can't face check. If it's a Bulwark, we lose if you're playing criminal. If it's a Trebuchet, it's really, really bad. Yeah. Yeah. I was hoping you'd check it earlier. Did you try Chiriboga since the update? Oh no, Macaroni. No, I haven't. I'm a bit ashamed because I said I would make an AI that can beat Chiriboga and I haven't had enough time for it in a long time. But I've heard that Chiriboga added the cards from system update, which is really, really, really quite cool. How's it been otherwise? I found that outfit is just very high variance. Yeah, I could believe it. I do think like if you get the low variance hand, you just have to play it so ridiculously aggressive. And then again, there's more high variance where you just have to hope the runner doesn't punish you on central. So yeah, it kind of falls further into that camp. Hey, Kalana, thanks for the game. Hey, cheers. Sometimes you break your draws and sometimes you draw the absolute nuts. We've got early Rashidas on like turn 1, I think, in probably every game we've played today. Like we played a bunch of games today. It's good that they're fast. Like we played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Like 7 games in an evening for the Metropole Grid. That's unheard of. And we even did an Arkham tangent, right? Like that's absurdly unheard of. Cool. Anywho, that's going to be it. I definitely should stop talking and get some rest. Again, there's an event on, what's it called? On Saturday. If you want to join, it's totally free. The link can be found on Null Signal Games. This is being run by Jeff and the Null Signal Games team. I'll be there doing some commentary for the first couple rounds. You want to drop by and watch the stream or participate? It's really cool. Otherwise, we're going to be running our GNK on the following Sunday on the 2nd. At some time in the next day or two, there will be an ABR link underneath this so you can like pre-register. I don't know how, I've never run my own tournament online, so it's going to be a bit of a learning experience. So apologies if some parts are going to be rough around the edges. If there's any feedback you want to give me, please do so. That's largely it. We're going to be getting up our agenda density video. We've been just further behind on it because I haven't been in a good spot. But that should be coming out sooner than later. And I think that's largely it. And Ramadan Mubarak. It's Ramadan right now. Or I don't even know what that means. How's it going, Sax? Hopefully you're doing well. That should be largely be it. They added some new features to Cheerbog on top of the new cards. Randomize your deck, pick your opponent's deck. It's fun. Oh, that's really cool. Yeah, yo, Cheerbog is like kind of undersung. And I think the bad part of it is like it doesn't have a good URL that anyone can get to. Oh, first day of fasting was today. Oh, how often does it move? I remember like, so when I was in university, I worked for a summer in a steel factory. And there was a bunch of workers there that were like, it was, you know, it's a steel factory. Like it's hot and it's heavy work. And like during Ramadan, like, you know, you could tell you went into the lunchroom and it was totally empty and everyone was outside on the grass, man. That's a hard week of fasting. Hopefully it's going okay. Enjoy your fasting. Thanks for stream. Feel better. Thank you, Hedonism. Ian, thank you. Thanks for streaming. You're welcome. Thanks for dropping in. Feel better soon. Thank you, Jennifer. I think that's gonna be it. See y'all in a couple days or a week or anytime between that. You can drop by whenever you want.